Lord. What's up, my peoples? I'm getting ready to go on the Stairmaster. I'm here with Maverick. Oh, Lord, I'm hot, you guys. I'm hot. Been a long day. Been a long day. Okay. And I have some skincare to do, so I figured I'll do it on the live. Hold on. Ooh, I'm tired. Okay, Saturday. Okay, not so bad. Oh, Lord. You guys, it's so damn hot. I am hot. I hope this is not perimenopause. I am so damn hot. What the freak? Yeah, Maverick. Quiet, boo-boo. Okay, let me get ready. That's when you guys show up in your chair. I was like, let me do a video for today. Ugh. Yo, look. This is the toner I bought. Can you see this one? Toner with the ferment. Manio Bifida Biome toner. Maverick. What the heck? Oh, Lord. I work out so much now. You gotta take care of your skin, huh? Because all this sweat is bad business when it's bad. Yeah, baby. Oh, Lord Jesus. Because I also use this one. But I try not to overdo it. Like once a day for this one. This one, it doesn't stain. So I feel like I can use this multiple times. But this one, once a day. It's a little too much sometimes. Okay, baby. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I gotta go back on the Stairmaster. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, y'all, we're gonna play the video now. Because I saw this video. I was watching Anton. Didn't want to watch Anton, but I was like, what did Tabitha say? And I saw her this morning. Hey, Mark. See, when you apply a toner, when I apply toners, I always use a cotton pad. So make sure you do the same. Maverick, please be quiet. Okay.
Tabitha Brown was talking.
Hello there. Real quick, that this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first. Okay. You gotta been in this place for a long time. Okay. Now listen, you got good ideas, baby. You got good ideas. Your execution is not as good. Okay. Your follow through, not as good. The ideas though are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and that doesn't mean it's not for you. But right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about. Baby, it ain't been working for you. Okay, and you're doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur, but you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to, okay, that it ain't working right now. Okay, it ain't worked for a while. It actually has never worked yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever work, but right now you need to go to work. You're gonna need to get a job, okay? And then keep working towards it. But at least you'll have a job while you are pursuing that thing. But right now, you need to get a job, baby. All right? That's it. I love you. They're going about your business. Okay, have a good night. Tomorrow, have a good day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's here. Don't be mad at me. Okay? Hello there. Real quick, that this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first. Okay? You gotta been in this place for a long time. Okay? Now listen, you got good ideas. Baby, you got good ideas. your execution is not as good. Okay. Your follow through, not as good. The ideas though are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And that doesn't mean it's not for you, but right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe it ain't been working for you, okay? And you're doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur, but you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to. Okay, that it ain't working right now. Okay, it ain't worked for a while. It actually has never worked yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever work. But right now, you need to go to work. You're going to need to get a job. Okay? And then keep working towards it. But at least you'll have a job while you are pursuing that thing.
Mark, boom. What's up, peoples, right? Yeah, he's right there. We're both taking our shot. We went for a walk. Then we came back to do some self-care. Okay. So me and the baby doing self-care. Right. So, on my face, I put the Glow Recipe Cloudberry Bright Moisture Cream. This one, I've had it for a long time. I never got to using it because I usually use this one from Elemis Superfood. Okay. Shout out to my husband. This is a little expensive. You know, like now, because I work out more, you guys, I am working out like crazy, you guys. Listen, your girl been out here killing it. Okay. Joy, I don't know, Joy. I don't know. Right? But this one, the Elemis is pricey. This one I've had this for a while, but I haven't used it. But because I'm working out more, so I take more showers during the day. Maverick. Because I can't let the sweat just sit on my body. Like, ugh. Yeah. Okay? So we're doing this right now, okay? During the day. You guys, if you saw my skincare stash, you'll scream like, Marlene, I know. Oh, gosh. I went to buy more skincare today. I was like, stop. You guys then see, I saw this one at TJ Maxx. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay? Let me show you this. So this is the Nature Well Cherry Noir Body Cream. Hyaluronic acid, shea butter, and caffeine, you guys. When I tell you it smells so good, it smells like cherries. I said, oh my gosh. It was only $6, you guys. $6 for all this. Whoo! Okay? Because I try to mix between like my expensive stuff and my cheap stuff because I take about 3 showers a day now. I really do. Okay? And then I discovered this today, TJ Maxx, and then this as well. All right? So I'm going to be trying these. As we listen to Miss Brown over here. I listened to this when I was watching the Anton video. And honestly, although I do agree that some people should not be entrepreneurs, not necessarily Black people, but some people should not be entrepreneurs, period. Okay? Because I think they like the aesthetic of being a boss, but not actually the grind, the sacrifice, the suffering, the business skills, you know, that you have to put into being a business owner, right? So to some extent, she is right. However, I felt like part of the video was being very shady. Like this whole, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, completely unnecessary. Okay? Completely unnecessary. That's just you being nice, nasty. That's just being nice, nasty. Yeah. Joy said a lot of so-called entrepreneurs don't have and refuse to develop executive functioning skills to run a business. I agree with you on that, Joy. You're right. However, do you not think that she could have said, here's what, as a Black woman, as a Black entrepreneur, and given that I have been very, very fortunate to run my own business and to not be a target because you guys have fully supported me. You know, I have seen that sometimes when it comes to my people, there's a certain way we do business and there's a certain way that we need to do business. So because of that, I am putting on a course. I am putting on a class, or I'm going to start making more videos now, teaching you guys what I think you should know, because working with Target, even for me, it has been really eye-opening, because when I first started as an entrepreneur and where I am today, baby, it was a whole MBA class, okay? So I have a link on my website if you want to sign up. But over starting October 1st, I'm going to be running a master class on how Black women or Black entrepreneurs can successfully run their businesses. And maybe one day we can be mates at Target, right? There is a nice way of saying this. I will never stop saying this, you guys. I will never stop saying it. No, but see, but that's the thing. No, but you see the Joy, because when she says, because she usually says her tagline is, it's your business. Like, it's my business, it's your business. So technically, she has no business speaking on somebody else's business, right? So I'm like, she's also going against her own ethos. Hey, Diana, how you go, right? She's going against her own ethos, Joy, because she usually says, mind your business, mind your business. So we should all mind our business. So you shouldn't be telling anybody to get a job. You see what I'm saying? Like, she betraying her own brand, right? But I just feel like, listen, I'll say this. Marlene, listen, if you watch my videos, you can probably think I'm anti-Black. That's fine. Okay. It's not fine, but I get it. We're good. America's here being loud, right? I don't have this kind of serious cognitive dissonance. However, when you are a Black content creator, when you're a Black influencer, and you know dang well your base is full of Black people, okay? You know dang well your base is Black women. Yeah, you need to be very mindful how you talk to these people, because you being a Black woman yourself in your mid-40s of anybody else, you should have self-awareness, right? See, me, for example, I don't sell products to people. I don't pander to Black women. I don't build a whole my blackity black is my brand. Oh, Black women, we're sisters in arms. I don't do any of that grifter crap. Okay, I don't even like that tribal shit. I don't run my life like that. But her and there's a slew of Black women, content creator turned business people, whatever. This is what they do. They pander to Black women, right? The vast majority of their audience are Black women. So I feel as though if you're going to make Black women your base, hey Z, right? If you're going to make Black women your base, you got to know how to talk to these people, because they're really sensitive. Right? Even I know this. Okay, that's why I'm like, no, I don't want to cater to y'all because it's y'all too much. But when you make money from Black women, yeah, you need to pander because they pay your bills. Okay? Like, I don't rely on Black women to feed me. I don't even monetize my videos. I don't really care. Right? Because this is how I feel. There's a certain mindset now with the culture. I want no parts of it, because to me, it reeks weakness. It has lack of accountability. It has lack of introspection. It's full of victimhood. You're always blaming other people. And personally, as a Christian, to me, it's apostate. It's against the word of God. In the Bible, like the way I understand the gospel is that you're not always living to blame someone, blame this person, blame that person, no. A Christian, you take accountability and you ask God for forgiveness and you do better. And then you have mercy for other people, because you know what? Once upon a time, I used to be dumb like that. Once upon a time, I used to be slow like that, right? So it's cool. It's what it is, right? But most Black women that I've noticed today, most mainstream Black women today, do not want to move from a godly perspective. They have a very worldly, secular understanding of life, and that's fine. That is their choice. But for me, being a Christian, it means a lot to me. And for as much as I do love Black people, and I'm being really serious, I really do love Black people, because trust me, I can do some crazy content, right? Not interested, because nobody is worth my salvation. But there's a lot of Black women. Y'all know who they are. Baby girl, right? There's a lot of Black women out here. You know who they are. Their whole brand is pandering to Black women. Beyonce is one of them. You know, all they do is pander to Black women. They don't really care about these ladies, but they pander to these ladies because they understand that their emotional need for validation is so great that if you do validate them, they will open their wallets. I just don't want to steal from people. Money is never that important to me. I will never, oh my God, I need money so much, I'm going to go lie to Joy. Oh, I need money so much, I'm going to go lie to Pumi. No. I like money. Money's nice, right? But your soul is worth more to me than money. I'm not going to lie to you. If I don't like it, I don't like it, right? If I think you're hella wrong, I'm like, yeah, you're wrong. But I understand that there are consequences for telling another Black woman the way you're going about life is wrong. The way you're always blaming these men, it's not okay. The way you don't take accountability, that's not the way to go. The way you're being petty, it's not the way to go. Long term, you will not succeed if you behave like this because it's immature, right? So consequently, hey Janet, consequently, I know I'm not going to get views. Consequently, I know I'm not going to have a bunch of followers. Matter of fact, they're going to unsubscribe for me and stop talking to me. That is perfectly fine. Right? Because when you're a Christian also, like Jesus said, you got to carry your cross and you have to follow him. Jesus said they hated me. So imagine if you follow Christ, they're going to hate your ass too. It's perfectly fine. Right? But one day, and it never fails because they always come back, you know, they always come back. They unfavorite me. They unsubscribe to keep watching me. They unfollow to keep following. They always come back. They always come back. They never fails. Because they go in their stubborn ways, in their rebellious ways, their denial ways, and they say to themselves, Marlene was right. Marlene was right. I didn't want to hear it, but she was right. I thought she was against me, but she was not. They always come back because I'm a wise person. But one thing I don't do is force myself onto people. I will never do that. Okay, there's no need for that. I love myself. And I love my peace of mind. If I ever stand before God, he will never say, oh, you put money, you put money over a person and you lied to your brethren because you wanted money. I will never be amongst those black people. Like on Judgment Day, look for me. And I promise you, I will ace this thing with flying colors because I don't play by my integrity. However, when it comes to Tab, she has pandered to black women. This woman is an Aquarius. And I've always told you. I said, one thing about us Aquariuses, we know how to be manipulative. We can be so manipulative. I think it probably has to do with us like being water bearers, is that we understand people. And because we understand people, we can mimic people and take advantage of people. And that is not okay because people have free will and you should honor people's free will. Don't manipulate people to believe in you because you're trying to get money out of people. I think that's disgusting. Okay. And there are a lot, I'm not going to say their names, but I'm not going to say their names, but there are a lot of Aquariuses in mainstream media that are truly, truly dishonest. God will deal with your ass. God will deal with you. Right. But Tab, as far as we're concerned, I don't like this right here. Who's that? MVMO. Who's that? I don't know. But I'm glad you're liking it, right? I'm glad you're liking it, Brittany, right? But I just feel like when it comes to Tab, the vast majority of her audience are black women. Because let's be so for real. The stuff she sells at Target, not to be offensive, but the stuff she sells at Target, you can find on Temu. Okay, not to be mean. There's nothing novel about the stuff she sells at Target. So for her to sit here and talk about, oh, you need to get a job. Girl, you need to get some design skills. How about that part? Okay, let's be so for real, right? She was able to build a massive following on TikTok. She didn't get to where she is because she's a great businesswoman. Miss V, I have missed you. I've missed you so much. Okay, don't go for that long without seeing me. I'll miss your pretty face, right? But that's the reality of it. Tab is not some great business juggernaut. She is not. She built a huge following on TikTok, right? Because her Instagram didn't do as well. Her YouTube didn't do as well, right? But she blew up on TikTok. Millions of people on TikTok. So because of that, Target says, okay, we'll create a merch line because we want some of your traffic to come into our stores, right? I don't even think Target really cares to have her brand be profitable. But her brand is meant to drive foot traffic, right? Because if you come in there to buy her ravioli or you go in there to buy her salsa, you might pick something else. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you might even sign up for the Target reward program, right? So her brand with Target is not like, oh, this is a pivotal brand that's leading in home decor and this and that. No, Maverick, it is just for foot traffic. And the fact that she don't have that kind of self-awareness is crazy to me. She did not invent anything new. She did not create anything new. She is not a great businesswoman. She just went viral on TikTok. Like anybody else, Michaela, all these people who go viral on TikTok, they are not business people. They are just personality. Okay? They're just personalities. But it's not her business skills that got her where she is. She is not even a great business person. She just has a big audience. If you have 5 million followers on TikTok, you guys, and only 10%, right? That's like what? 50,000 people go into a Target and they buy stuff? Okay. What business skills is that? You just have a big audience. That is not a real business skill. We don't even see her go to work on a day-to-day basis. Does she go to work? Does she have an office? Does she run? Like, does she have employees? Like, make it make sense. Like, seriously? But I'm like, whatever she sells through Target, she's not even designing that. Target has a design team. They do all the work for her, right? Kevin with the suit. Kevin with the branding. Okay, brand. Woo! Kevin. Oh, you're a good student, Libra. You're a good student. I love this. I was like, who is this person? Oh my gosh, Kevin, you got my heart today. Look at Kevin with the suit. I know that's right. Okay. So I'm like, that is it. Okay. That is, look, good job, Kev. Good job. Oh, you make me proud. Maverick, you be quiet. Okay. You make me proud. I know that's right. I was not ready for the suit, Kevin. I was not ready for the branding. Oh, Lord, you made me proud. Okay. So I'm like, that is that. But it's like, you did not get into you didn't get into Target because, I worked so hard and this and that. Exactly. She's a portal because she's bringing foot traffic, right? Because it could be that Target said, we need more black consumers, more black customers. So yeah, you see, everybody's clacking it. Yay! Right? So that's about it. But nonetheless, I just feel like to whom much is given, much is required, in the sense that, yes, there are many things that Black entrepreneurs could do better. Nicer customer service. That really is a big thing, right? Better customer service. There's no need to clap back at customers. There's no need to record your customers. You can do faster shipping. You can, answer emails a whole lot better. I agree with that part. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Everybody can stand to improve. What I'm saying is, why can't you offer a class, right? For everything they have given to you, for everything your Black audience has given to you, if you have noticed that there are certain shortcomings that keep repeating themselves over and over and over, from one Black woman to another to other Black women, like, you know what, you guys, I see this, I don't like it, but instead of complaining, here's a course. So we'll do maybe like twice a week, right? 4 or 5, maybe even 12 different modules. Mavi, you're being loud. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me check this baby.
But right now, you need to get a job, baby. All right? That's it. I love you. Now go about your business. Okay, have a good night. Tomorrow, have a good day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's here. Don't be mad at me. Okay? Hello there. Real quick. That this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first. Okay? You gotta been in this place for a long time. Okay? Now listen, you got good ideas. Baby, you got good ideas. Your execution is not as good. Okay? Your follow through, not as good. The ideas though are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And that doesn't mean it's not for you, but right now, these last few months, few years.
How she's like, sorry, you guys. She's like, your follow through is not good. Okay. So make a course. How should they do better follow through? Right. And this is the thing that grinds my gear with a lot of Black people sometimes, right? We love to complain. Somebody's going to have to be a teacher. Somebody's going to have to be a problem solver, right? I'm not going to say the stuff you're saying is not correct, right? However, how can they fix it, right? Because this is how I feel. This is me personally, right? To say to a Black person, you tried entrepreneurship, it's just not working out for you. You're robbing Paul to pay Peter, one, as if she didn't do that when she was working or doing Uber with her husband. Okay, did she give up? Right? However, just working a job, it's with a lot of people, it doesn't make ends meet. Like, people know how to work a job. People know how to apply for a job, but people want something better for themselves. I'm like, so for you to sit there with a stack of Cartier bracelets, like what, 50,000 on your arm, to say, go get a job, right? I feel like as a Black woman to another Black woman, what you could have done is put up a course. Like, listen, I've been thinking about this because It upsets me sometimes. It makes me sad sometimes. But I also feel as though maybe some of y'all just don't know, right? A lot of Black people just don't know. You think they know, but they don't know. Because it's not like a lot of people don't have a history in their bloodline, a lane of running businesses or having entrepreneurs or having people they can talk to. Even though I will say sometimes Black women can be stubborn. That's a fact. But I also feel like sometimes it depends how you talk to her. But if she does like you, she will listen though, right? It's about how you talk to people. But I just feel like a lot of Black people do not have mentors in business. They don't have families that have been good at business. They don't even have families that can dream. So for me, I'm not going to tell somebody, oh yeah, go back and get a job, right? If you have to, maybe. However, I will say, okay, maybe put the business on pause and how can we restructure the business, right? What are the pain points of the business? And instead of even saying, go get a job, I would say, turn that into a YouTube series. Right. And that's how you realize that this lady here, she just got lucky. She's not a businesswoman herself. Like, I'm going to call her out on that. There are a lot of people who have these great brands. They're not business people. Okay. Another one that even comes to mind also is Shishi. Like, she is not a business person. Like, they're just not business people. There are people who got lucky. Like a big influencer like Nikki Tutorials kept shouting the products over and over and over. You made it on TikTok. One. There are a lot of people who are not business people. They just got lucky because it was part of your destiny. But when it comes to day-to-day management, you don't know how to manage people. When it comes to conflict resolution, you don't know how to do it. When it comes to having great business ideas, you don't know how to do it. When it comes to bringing people together, you don't know how to do it. When it comes to marketing, you don't know how to do it. Right? Because at some point, if you're Black and you care about being Black and you want to see Black people do better, we kind of know a job is not, you're not going to make it with a job. Most people cannot make it with a job. Also, we have a lot of Black women also who are stay-at-home moms. So working a job with like certain like fixed hours, it just doesn't work. Like, see me, if I had to work a traditional job, it just wouldn't work for me. Right? Because between Maverick, Stefan, Trey, cooking, cleaning, diet, listen, child, there's no time. Like, my time is weird, right? So me doing content, it works better for me, right? But what I would say is that maybe if the business is currently struggling, put a pause on the business, right? And then you can just, what is wrong, Maverick? What's happening to you, child? What's happening? How did you end up there? Well, that's what you get then. Why did your body end up there? How'd you end up there? Well, you're like Jennifer Lopez. Who sent you there? Well, you're like J-Lo. Who sent you there? How'd you get there? Baby J-Lo. Make it make sense. Well, you better go well. Whatever. Right? So for me, what I would say is what she could have done was, you guys, here's what I have noticed, right? And I will also say, because I feel like you should also have self-awareness, because you cannot tell me that you can be an American, you cannot be a Black American person, right? We saw you out here doing Uber, right? And tell me that you never robbed Peter to pay Paul. Most Black people and their parents have robbed Paul to pay Peter at least one time. We've all been through it, okay? These are the realities of living in America. It's a real thing. It happens sometimes, right? Now, how do we make sure it doesn't happen again? How do we make sure it doesn't become like your brain to rob Peter to pay Paul, right? So because of that, I am putting on a course, and I think she should make it for free because her audience has given her a life of luxury. She was able to retire her husband. She travels in private jets. She lives in a big house in California, right? And with her fake accent, it's so damn fake. Just like her personality, it is fake. She's nice, nasty. I don't like that kind of stuff. It is so fake. You can do a 12-module class on like a mastermind for Black people, right? Listen, I'm not going to rent a venue. It's too much money. I ain't got time for that. But we can do a mastermind the same way I said to you guys, because I'm like, okay, I'm working on, we're doing the B pilot, the whole branding stuff, ingredients, name, storytelling, wonky, right? Okay, I'm like, oh, so the more I was doing that, I'm like, okay, this is no different than dating. It really isn't. You know what I mean? Like, you have something and you want to have people pursue you. I have a product and I want people to pursue my product. It is no different. So I said, okay, I'm going to start making videos where I teach my people how to brand themselves, right? So like whatever I learned, trying to rebrand the bee palette, I can show you how you need to rebrand yourself as well. And you see, Kevin actually listened and he wore a suit now, right? This is what I call, yes, I see a problem, right? I see a problem. I don't like it. It's repetitive. Here's the solution, right? This is what it means to be pro-Black. That's what I be telling y'all. A lot of these so-called blackity Black people, they actually hate Black people. You see someone like me, people would say, oh, Marlene just hates Black people. No, I don't hate Black people. Okay? I actually love Black people. That's number one. Number two, I believe in Black people. That's why my standards are high. That's why I always say you're not a victim. Work on your brand. Take accountability. Everything I say, if you can stop being petty and immature and you listen to me, you will be better because of it. Right? Because once you stop blaming other people for your life, you'll start making better choices. Okay, you know what? I can't blame nobody but me. So now I know I'm a stakeholder in my life. So I got to be more diligent. I got to be more judicious. Like when I think about stuff, because I can't blame nobody else, right? If you stop worrying about Black men all day, the Black man this, the Black man that, and you say to yourself, okay, as a Black woman, who should I be? As a child of God, who should I be? The more you focus on being the better you, a nicer you, a kinder you, how much do you want to bet? You're like, wow, she changed. Oh my gosh, she's nicer now. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And now because they see a change in you, they're going to want to change as well, right? Everything we want to see, like Michael Jackson said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm asking him to change his ways because it starts with self. It starts with self. If I fix myself, if I hold myself accountable, if I stay out the way, if I put love out there in the world, if I also have high standards, then most people who come around me will know, hey, if you want to be around Marlene, this is how you got to carry yourself. You understand? This is how you got to carry yourself. That's how I feel. You understand? But it's like God has blessed you because you could barely take care of yourself. You could barely take care of yourself. You could barely take care of your mom, right? Not to be offensive. But because of TikTok, because of the support that Black people gave you on TikTok, right? All these people started to notice you, but it had nothing to do with your business skills. Tab, you're not where you are because you are like I said, you're not a business maven. You're not a business juggernaut. You had a great personality or persona, because it could be a persona because she is an actress after all, right? But whatever persona you made of yourself, the Black woman who eats vegan food and who prays and believes in Jesus, all that weird shit, right? They bought that shit, and because of that, they supported you hardcore, right? But at the end of the day, you don't even sell on your own website. Okay, you don't even sell on your own website. You don't even own your own distribution. Your products are held by Target. So you yourself are not a great businesswoman. Do you even have a TikTok shop where you sell your own stuff on TikTok? Like, make it make sense, right? Like all your customers, Target has all their information. You don't have their information because they buy through Target. So miss me with the, business skills this, business skills that. You yourself are still learning so much in business. You just happen to be a personality with lots of followers, but ma'am, you are not a business maven. I am very, very sorry. You're not a business maven. Okay? You're not good at business. You just have a lot of followers. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's just it. What the kid said, that was selfish comment. That was a selfish comment. Kid, if you could use some commas. Hold on. Kid, can you rewrite your comment and use like punctuation? Because it's a lot. Because there's no commas. I don't know what you're trying to say. Okay? It's all kinds of opportunity out here for you, master. But my point is, Keith, it's very easy to say master ChatGPT. Why don't you create a channel and then show your people how to master ChatGPT? And that way everybody wins. Because if you get monetized, you get paid for the content, right? And then they win by watching your video, right? So I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it's like, go get a job. What does that solve? What does that solve? Right? Hey, Abby, what does that solve? What does that really solve? So for me, like I said, it would be better to say, here's what I noticed and here's the solution. And also you make it free. You make it free. They don't have to pay for it. Put it on your website. Yo, hold on. Let me deal with Maverick real quick. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. This little baby is loud.
Years, you know what I'm talking about. Baby, it ain't been working for you, okay? And you doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur, but you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to. Okay, that it ain't working right now. Okay, it ain't worked for a while. It actually has never worked yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever work, but right now you need to go to work. You're gonna need to get a job. Okay, and then keep working towards it, but at least you'll have a job while you are pursuing that thing. But right now, you need to get a job, baby. All right? That's it. I love you. Now go about your business. Okay, have a good night. Tomorrow have a good day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's here. Don't be mad at me. Okay? Hello there. Real quick. That this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first. Okay? You kind of been in this place for a long time. Okay? Now listen, you got good ideas. Baby, you got good ideas. Your execution is not as good. Okay? Your follow through, not as good. The ideas though are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And that doesn't mean it's not for you, but right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about. Baby, it ain't been working for you. Okay? And you doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur, but you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to. Okay, that it ain't working right now. Okay, it ain't worked for a while. It actually has never worked yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever work, but right now you need to go to work. You're gonna need to get a job. Okay, and then keep working towards it.
Y'all, Tabitha Brown was talking to people like me, okay? I think that where some people are getting so offended, especially Black women, is because, first of all, the majority of the Black women I know do get up off their asses and get a job to support them becoming an entrepreneur. I don't know of any Black women that don't do that. Most of the time we're not kept women have a man taking care of us or anything like that. We don't have parents that can fund businesses and stuff. So most of the Black women I know, they do work to fund their dreams. But Tabitha was talking to people like me, y'all. I have been out of work since 2017. I just recently started working again back in June. Now, I stopped working to be a full-time makeup artist and a content creator. And that was going okay. If I'm being completely and totally fucking honest, it was going okay. All right. I never got to the point where I was making a good amount of money every single month and everything was going smoothly. 2020, COVID happened. I was pregnant. I didn't do makeup anymore because nobody was going nowhere. Nobody wants to be around it. People, y'all know the whole thing. So I started to do a catering business. Now, my catering business has been doing okay, just like the makeup, right? But I'm finding that for the business, I just need a lot of money. Like, I have kitchen fees, I got licensing fees, I got a whole lot of money. So I had to make the decision that, hey, you want this catering business, right? You want this to pop off. So what you got to do is get up off your ass and get a job. Tabitha was talking to folks like me, okay? And there are a subsection of people like myself who have been at entrepreneurship for a while and it is not working yet. And we do have to accept the reality of the fact that, hey, while I'm still going to pursue this, in the meantime, I got to get a job. That's who she was talking to, y'all. But I feel like because of where Tabitha is, it appeared to be tone deaf, and definitely where the job market is and the Black women, which, by the way, I don't ever remember her saying directly Black women. But anyways, I think that because of those factors, people took it as, Tabitha, you need to shut the hell up because you're just some millionaire telling us to go find a job, and we out here busting our asses and we looking for jobs and stuff, when she wasn't talking to y'all. So sometimes y'all be trying to put on shoes that don't even fit, baby. She was talking to folks like me. And Tabitha was right. I did need to get up off my ass and get me a job so I can fund my...
Hello there. Real quick. That this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I had to deal with. I don't like it. Hold on, you guys. Sorry, Maverick was just being loud. I had to get rid of him. So, Kate said it's still Black people out here thinking they can gatekeep other Black people. Steve Jobs killed that with the internet. YouTube, nobody can stop him anymore. I mean, hey, baby. Yeah, but it's like, you're not an entrepreneur though, right? But it's like, to me, this is personally how I feel, right? Even with the young lady who said, oh, I'm not going to, she was doing the makeup stuff, then she got pregnant. Nobody was getting their makeup skills done. Okay, but you can pivot, right? And pivoting is not always getting a job. You see, the problem that I have with her, that's why I'm saying she's not even a business person herself. Because if she understood, we would say, instead of saying to Black people, oh, go get a job, right? We should talk about why is it so hard for Black people to raise capital. There are plenty of white entrepreneurs who fail multiple times. And guess what? They're able to raise money multiple times. They don't go get a job. They raise money. Black people struggle with raising money because Black people don't trust other Black people. Now, sometimes I agree, sometimes I disagree. You understand? And the problem, I will also say, which is the issue that I had with Sacred, for example, right? Which is the issue I had with Sacred, is that a lot of Black women they want to run out here and support Beyonce. You know what I mean? Oh, it's Beyonce, and go buy this and buy that. But the problem that we have is that Black people, by large, do not understand that money is power. Okay? Money is power. And when you support people, you need to support people that will actually invest in you, right? When you go out of your way to support Beyonce, okay, how's she going to pay it back to you? How's she going to pay it back to you? Sometimes it is better, most of the time, it is better for you to invest in a small Black entrepreneur, one that you can talk to, that you can have conversations with, even if it's on X, even if it's in the DMs, right? But a person that you probably have, you don't have that many degrees of separation, because God, if you were to ever need money, they might help you out because they know you, or they might give you tips and information, right? But no, most Black people, they bypass micro Black entrepreneurs to go for the mega Black celebrity that's doing pretty much a merch business. So what happens is that you don't have enough capital for fundraising, right? Like, because let's say if you had like if you had 1, 2, 3 million small micro entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs who made over $1 million, right? Maybe those people be like, you know what, I can relate to what it is to have a small business. I can relate. So they will be more likely to be investors in smaller Black businesses. They will be more likely to be mentors to smaller Black businesses, because not too long ago, they also were small business owners, right? But when all you want to do is always support the Beyoncés of the world, the Rihanna of this world, it is going to create a problem for capital. Because people like Beyonce, people like Rihanna, even maybe also Tab, what do I know? But when you spend money, even, Pattern Beauty with Tracy Ellis, a lot of these people work with Jews. They work with the Arabs. These people will never have their capital available for Black people to raise money with them. So for us, when we need money to start a business, we have to go work a job and save the money to start the business. When will you ever start this business? Because some business require $100,000. Some businesses require $500,000. What job you gonna work that allows you to save $500,000? Right? What job? What job? You gotta actually raise money. But the problem is you don't have enough Black wealthy people. Because the majority of the Black wealth is concentrated in like a small nuclear of some Black elites who do not care to help the average Black person. Right? Just say, okay, how do we give some of this money back? How do we reinvest the money back in the community? Like Beyonce, everything she does is a product. Even her activism is a product. Okay? Everything she does is for sale. Nothing is for free. Right? So let's go back to Tab. So my issue with Tab is I'm not going to say like Black businesses specifically native to their DNA don't have particular issues that you might not find with other businesses by other ethnicities. However, because of where you are, because of the money that you have, the relationships, even with Target, she could have a course where Target is the sponsor and she could have executives from Target be part of her course to teach Black women, this is how you get into retail. This is what we look for. This is how we do storytelling. A lot of Black women who have great business ideas, me, myself included, I was one of these people, right? You don't understand that it's not enough to have a great product. There also got to be a great story with the product. Okay, like we're very, like I'll tell you this, right? Because I was comparing Korean skincare, Japanese skincare to American skincare, right? Because I was looking at the Rhode stuff, right? I was looking at the Hailey Bieber, the Rhode business, right? And I was like, well, this stuff to me, her products really do give Korean skincare, right? Because one of the product is her. I was wondering if you're gonna come back. One of the products is her milk toner thingy. Right? But this milk toner, it's Korean skincare. I'm like, this is not American skincare. Milk on your face. Yeah, that sounds Asian. So I typed it up and all these Reddit threads popped up because a lot of Korean people are like, yeah, this is Korean skincare repackaged for an American audience. This young lady did not invent anything new. Okay? But it's the story. It is the story. Right? Leia Lashes didn't have a story. The Bee palette did not have a story, right? Whatever you're doing as a Black entrepreneur, you got to ask yourself, what is the story? And the story is not the product. The product is the solution that came from the story, right? So I'm like, you got to really work on that. Because once you talk about your story, people are, oh, okay, right? And this is what the American audience want. The American audience, American consumers, they want to know why I should buy from you. In the Asian market, Korea, Japan, for example, they care more about the ingredients. Like, so, oh, I have this, I have like hyaluronic acid in here. Okay, because of that, she's going to buy it. Because they're more ingredient focused in Asia. In America, American consumers are more people focused. So it doesn't even matter if you have a great product or not. They just have to buy into your image. Right? This is the American way. If you were in Asia, you would do really well never showing your face and just focusing on the key ingredients in your products because the ingredients will be the hero of the product. That's not how it works in America. In America, the business owner is the hero of the brand. So they have to maybe look like you, smell like you, I don't know, right? But you got to work on storytelling. Because once you ace the story, it is a lot easier, right, to get people on board. Because we're not just selling products anymore, you guys. We are selling an experience. We are selling a universe. We are selling, like, hey, come into this world, right? Be part of this. This is how it works. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I would say, me personally, let me tell you this, even me, I'm going to be quite honest. When Leia Lashes was not doing well, I thought about getting a job. Maybe I even applied for a job. What do I know? Never got picked, whatever, right? But you get to a point where you understand, right? Some people are not meant to work a job, and it's not to be offensive. My husband works a job, right? But if you are called to be an entrepreneur, if it's your calling, these jobs will never call you back anyways. You're going to have to figure this out. You're going to have to figure this out. And it gets hard sometimes. The money is not what it's supposed to be sometimes. Sometimes you feel like giving up, right? But that is part of that. This is your baby. The particular business might not be your baby, but I'm saying like your story as an entrepreneur, that's the baby that you have to nurture. You got to make it to the finish line. You understand? You have to make it to the finish line. A lot of people will tell you, oh, a job will give you security. A job will give you benefits. It's true. That's why I say also it's a lot easier to be an entrepreneur when you're married. Tab was married. She's still married. So she was able to pursue entrepreneurship because she was married. right? And so this is the big elephant in the room that many times when we talk to Black women, we don't want to talk about it, but they're going to have to change their mindset, their attitudes around men and around marriage, because you need a life partner. If you have a husband, it's a lot easier for you to be an entrepreneur. If you're doing it all by yourself, your dreams might never come true, and you might work a job that you actually resent. You understand? There's nothing more fulfilling than doing what you love. So what I would say, right, instead of applying for a job, can you commit to, I don't want you to sell anymore. Marlene, I'm not going to make money. Yes, you're not. From that side, you're not going to make money. Okay? But can you commit to like, just like when we studied Anderson, right? When Anderson went to Loewe, because they tried. They had multiple creative designers. It didn't work. So when Anderson came in there, he just tore everything up and he started from scratch, right? Or if you really want to make it as an entrepreneur and you try, like she said, you tried, it hasn't worked. Certain things are not working. It's not that you're not called to be an entrepreneur, right? This business could be it or it could not be it. It doesn't really matter. Okay. When it comes to entrepreneurship, the first business you start doesn't necessarily have to be the one that makes it. Ultimately, you have to make it. You gotta, like, and for me, making it is what? Oh, now I understand how to tell a story. I understand how to go to market. I know how to, I understand my customers. I know how to deliver to my customers. I know how to add value. Once you understand the pillars of what it takes to be a great entrepreneur, to be a great CEO, to be a great leader, whatever you decide to do, you're going to be successful, right? Because most entrepreneurs don't have one business, but they have that one business where they probably learned the most and they probably failed the most. But that's the business that's giving you your MBA, right? But you will do way more than that. Don't listen to her, okay? What I would urge you to do is to seriously consider becoming a YouTuber, right? Consider documenting your journey on social media, right? Do not be afraid to be vulnerable. If you have a business and you're currently struggling with shipping, say that. Make a video. Say, you guys, we are struggling with shipping. We are struggling with this, and that. Right? You might say, oh, they're going to make fun of me. No, a lot of people are going to be able to relate to that. Even your customers might even start feeling sorry for, like, well, she's really trying, right? She is really trying. You understand? Do not underestimate people's ability to be humane. Do not underestimate people's ability to, to cheer for you, to support. Like, you know what? It's okay, girl. Take your time. As long as I know I'm getting it, I'm good. Because I didn't even know it was this much. Most people don't know. Most customers do not know, because a lot of us, even I did the same thing. A lot of Black business owners, we are not leveraging social media the way we should to really let people in and show them this is what it is to run a business. Instead, people put on their wigs, they put on their makeup, they put on their high heels, they wear their Birkin bags, and they make it seem like, oh yeah, all you got to do is start a business, and next thing you know, you're super rich. They think everybody's rich. No, every business owner is not wealthy. Right now, you have some people who are investing in their image because they want you to believe the business is successful, right? But they themselves don't even know how to be successful. They know how to have the image of success, but they don't truly know how to run a successful business because it takes years, right? It really does take years. So if you are in a position where you're low-key robbing Peter to pay Paul, it's not fun. Trust me, I've been there. It can feel so degrading. It can feel so shameful. Like, oh, how the freak did I get myself here, right? But it happens. Never forget that Donald Trump himself, he filed for bankruptcy 3 times, okay? And sometimes the money that you're crying about, whether you're crying about $10,000, you're crying about $5,000, you're crying about $20,000. I really wish my business had been more successful. I would have given you the money. You know what I'm saying? Like one time I was watching American Greed. This white man, he had to make payroll, you guys. This is why Marlene, I don't get all consuming this whole blackity black stuff because I know it's fugazi. The white man had to make payroll on Friday. He needed $100,000. Okay, so he called his other white man friend and he said, oh, I need some money to make payroll. The friend said, okay, how much do you need? He said 100,000. He said, okay, I'll wire you the money. Just like that. You understand, right? Like me, that's why I said me, I will never be, Black women, especially the ones that have businesses, I see them exactly for what they are, right? One time I was going through it and I asked this one person, Because I asked her if she could loan me some money, right? Courtney, it was Courtney Adelaide. That's her main choice. Because I used to talk to her sometimes, and I was really going through it. And I asked Courtney if I could borrow some money. She didn't even say, "Oh, Marlene, how much do you need?" Right? She said, "Oh, I can't give it to you because I'm working with a financial planner." Some kind of shit to sound all like rich and fugazi. I turn around, you guys, kid you not. I turn around. Courtney is having a giveaway for $5,000. Right? I'm like, what the fuck? Because I was thinking like, okay, so if you can just give money freely away, I messaged you to ask you, oh, Courtney, can you please help me? Right? She's like, no, she can because she's working with a financial planner. She turns around and was giving $5,000 away to people. Why? Because if she gave to me in private, who would have known? Right? She wanted to receive the accolade and the praise for giving publicly. This is what they do. You see, it's because I don't care to sit here. I don't care to sit here and tell you every single experience I've had with these Black women, right? But trust me, I've been places, and the behavior that I have seen, they're so nasty. They are so nasty. BB Judy. I booked BB Judy in New Orleans for a show. I even went to her place. I paid her cash. I booked for her to stay at the Ritz-Carlton. That's why I think it's so funny when I hear some people who are African-American will be like, oh, African this, African that. Me, Marlene, I treat people with so much kindness. The vast majority of people I've ever invited to New Orleans, Tierra Walker, Shalom Black, you name it. Who have I not invited? I put all these people at the Ritz-Carlton. Right? I even think Tierra Walker, her first brand trip was with Lena Lashes. I put her at the Ritz-Carlton. I paid for everything. The number of people who stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, I was swiping my American Express card because I said, oh, treat people the way you want to be treated. And when you're dealing with Black influencers, treat them well. There was Shalom. When Shalom first came to New Orleans, she stayed at the Saint. The Saint is still a Ritz-Carlton. It's a Marriott hotel. It's right next to the Ritz-Carlton. We had another trip for her to come and stay at the Ritz. She chose not to come because I didn't want her to bring a +1. Do you see the level of foolishness? You guys, I have stories for days. Oh my gosh, I have stories for days. It's because I choose not to get into it. But one thing I have realized is that a lot of Black people just don't have love for other Black people. It is all performative. And I was really hurt by that with Courtney, right? But then the thing that happened was her sister died. Her sister died right after that. And I really did wonder, maybe had she blessed me, maybe her sister wouldn't have died. Yes, I'm being so for real. I'm like, yeah, maybe had you been generous to the right person, your sister wouldn't have died. Because you never know who's coming to you to ask for help. I left my children in New Orleans, went all the way to New York, to New Jersey to help Shishi with her business, right? The way Shishi treated me, it was so disgusting. She offered my mom a plane ticket, and because she was mad at me, she canceled the other leg. So my mom made it to the Ivory Coast, but in order to hurt me, she canceled my mom's other half of her plane ticket. I'm like, who does stuff like this? Nobody even asked her. She was the one who said, oh, Marlene, I want to buy your mom a ticket. I want to do this for your mom. I said, okay. I called my mom. I said, okay, mom, she wants to buy your plane ticket, right? Unprovoked. But was it a form of control? I don't know. Vanessa, I'm the one who took Vanessa to go to Juvia's place. I used to talk to Vanessa all the time because I wanted her to make it. She used to do makeup for $200. Right? She said, oh, Marlene, can I come? I said, oh, Shishi, can Vanessa come? Right? Turn her back on me, backstab me and I'm like, me, I bring you to Shishi. I changed your life. Your husband used to work at Walmart. He used to work at Walmart. You dropped out of high school. Didn't even finish high school. I'm like, do you see this behavior? Do you see? I'm like, the level of ungratefulness from these people. Right? She said, oh, and I said to her, me, because Lena Lashes was not doing well. Vanessa had done some swatches for me, right? But it's just like, oh, Marlene, can you pay me? I didn't have it. But it stuck with me. When I went there to help Shishi because she was having a crisis, right? I'm like, okay, let Vanessa come so she can create some content. And in the hotel, I said to Vanessa, because I couldn't pay you, right? I brought you here so she can help you out. You know what I'm saying? And if Vanessa, her bird brain, she wants to register, oh, Marlene just brought me here because she owed me some money. I'm like, are you serious? Our relationship went down to last swatches between you and I, right? But I'm like, the behavior, y'all. I have stories for days. I'm just exhausted. Stories for days. Story for days. Me, Marlene, my heart is this big, but I have learned Black people, they're mean as fuck. So I just pull back, especially Black women. They're mean as fuck. There is not a single person. Do you know how many people on my phone? Because when I give. That's why even when I see, like, even my advice, I give my advice for free. But the stuff I tell people, they should actually be paying me for that. Because I want people to win. I want people who look like me to win. But the selfishness that lives and dwells inside of a lot of Black people is not normal. The level of greed that dwells inside of a lot of Black people, it's just not normal. It's not normal. Like when I went to New Jersey, the way she was so scared of what Jackie was about to do. This girl wasn't even sleeping at night. But and like even the Nigeria collection, I told her you should do the Nigeria collection. She said, "Oh, she don't want to do it. Nigeria this, Nigeria that," and now she's throwing a party like she wants to honor Nigeria. So fucking fake. The stuff she never wanted to do, she didn't want to do it. I said, "Okay, I guess I'll do it." She didn't want to do it. From that, for her, and then she saw it. She saw the collection. Instead of saying, "Oh, Marlene, you did a good job. It was very, very beautiful." No. "Oh, you copied me. Oh, you stole." Copied what? What is there to copy? How much of it be funny? But what is, like, when it comes to Juvia's Place, what is there to actually copy? Like, she has no taste. Like, you have no fucking taste, right? She had agreed to give me like a grant, like a $50,000 grant. Okay, I give her my EIN. I'm not gonna give you my social, Shishi, because I don't trust you. She's a Libra, and that hurts me to this day. Shishi went and took my EIN to do a background check on me. I'm like, okay. She said, "Oh, but you stole." I said, okay. Remy Ma killed. She almost killed somebody. She almost shot somebody, right? There are a bunch of people who came into your office to create content who almost murdered people, right? Why didn't you check their background check? Right? Just pure wickedness. And I've always told her, the way you draw inspiration from Egypt, you're going to behave just like Potiphar. You see, Joseph went into the house of Potiphar to help Potiphar and to be a faithful person. But in return, all he got was abuse. All he got was abuse. Abuse, abuse, abuse. Me, Marlene, if I agree to do something with you or you give me stuff, I will never, ever say, "Oh, let me go research her social. Let me go do a background." Do background for what? For what reason? I said to her, if you had any questions, you could have asked me directly. And her batshit crazy shit happened after she saw James. And that's why I don't show my husband. She wanted to see James so badly. We were talking on the Zoom. I put Jimmy on the Zoom. She saw James. The bitch started acting batshit crazy. Once again, jealousy. Some people, their husbands are like almost like non-existent because they're super short. Some people, their husbands could have been basketball player. I happen to be one of those people. What are we talking about? What exactly are we talking about? Then she started spreading all kinds of weird rumors. Some people acted even funny, right? Even Fumi, like the Nigerian lady who makes the comment over here. Because one day, because she had reposted one of my videos about the girl Sharon, and I went to WhatsApp because certain things she had said were not correct, and I saw that. I guess I couldn't reach out to her. Like, okay, because I've never had an issue with Fumi. I don't know the lady, but I'm like, the only person it could be is Shishi. I'm like, okay, but even if Shishi said something to you about me, you should have came to me and asked me first. Right? She even had, because she was, "Oh, I want to talk to James." It's okay, sure, whatever. Give her number to James. Then she's like, call James. I'm like, "Oh, block her." This is crazy. I don't call your husband. I don't text your husband. Right? If you have an issue, you come talk to me. You guys, I've been through the gigs. Listen to me. Right? I've been through a lot. It's just, I just don't care to talk about stuff sometimes because I'm not a person to dwell on stuff. But I just say this to say this, is that a lot of Black women in business, a lot of Black women who start making money like Tab over here, it really gets to their heads. It truly, truly gets to their heads. And then they think, "Oh, well, I have money, so I can tell you, oh, well, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're doing this." Like, ma'am, please be quiet. Does your husband even have a job? Go worry about that part. Okay? Go seriously worry about that part. Right? But it's a bunch of fugazi ass behavior. They love to act like they're pro-Black in the public. They love to act like they support Black women in the public. Even Jessica, BB Judy, the shit she put me through after we paid her. I paid her. I put her up at the Ritz-Carlton. I even had a private massage for her. The whole time she made us wait for hours. She was on her phone cursing, doing all kinds of foolishness, right? And then the day of the event, she came like 2-3 hours late with sunglasses on. But I'm like, if you didn't want to do it, don't do it. Because when I reached out to them, I even asked specifically. I said, okay, since Supa has a makeup line, because me, I sell lashes. But since Renelle has a makeup line, is it going to be a problem? Because if it is, it's fine. Right? They said, "Oh, no, it's not a problem. It's fine. Wumpty wump wump." I said, okay. Paid the money, put him into the hotel. Like, and also like Jessica, also, Jessica's an Aquarius. What's her name? Renelle's an Aquarius. I don't have a problem booking Supa and her together. I just didn't have the money. So I could just do one person. right? But I was really nice to her. I'm like, yo, when most people come in out of town, I usually put them at the Ritz-Carlton. So I was like, like, so she came, she stayed there, like really trying to make her comfortable. You understand? I've never looked at anybody and like, oh, I'm African, you're this, you're beneath me. No, I treat people with love. Like if you're Black to me, you're a Black person. You know what I mean? And I'm like, these white brands, when they have people come over, they usually have like nice hotels and this, and that. So I try to do the same. But even though we had to go on the news, like we went on the radio, I booked that. We went on a TV show to announce the event, the hotel, the masseuse, and the girl who did her massage also, she was African-American too. Because I wanted to give her an exposure because she had a small business and she had little children. I said, okay, maybe if Jessica likes you, maybe she'll hire you later. Then there was a lady who wanted to give her a cake. She made a beautiful cake for her. I try to do a lot so that everybody could actually win. I'm not trying to take Super's place, nor do I even want to. Like, it was none of that. But I even did a whole billboard. I paid for a whole billboard. You guys, like, we were going crazy for the event, right? So my event, she decides to sabotage the event. She came there super late. She came there with glasses on. You can ask Jimmy. She had a presentation. It was laced with so many grammatical errors. Like, did you even read this stuff? No care in the world, like none whatsoever. Right. And then after that, her and Super went and pretty much copied everything I did. They went on the same radio station. They went on the same TV show. They had I had my event like further down the West Bank. They did theirs at Mardi Gras World, whatever, because I had also seen that place. Because when I was talking with her assistant, I told her the different places where I considered having my event. You understand, right? So they did the same thing. Like, all you had to do was just ask. We could have all done it together. But it's like, no, they want the limelight for themselves. This is how these girls actually function. They are not nice people. They are truly, truly not nice people. But I get it. It's the hair, it's the makeup, it's the weave, it's the pandering. Me, that's just not my energy. But I'm serious. Like, every single Black woman I have met in this entrepreneurial space, mean as fuck. Mean as hell. Like, stay the fuck away from these people. They're just fucking evil. They're fucking evil. Okay? Jackie, I won't even talk about that one. All right? Won't even talk about that one also. The number of times she called me. The number of times she leaned on me. Right? Over one thing, I no longer support the brand. She was out here supporting the Mexican. Okay? 69. What's 66? That she was over here doing the very most. It is okay. A lot of Black women have an ugly, ugly heart. And I really thank God, you guys. I thank the Lord that after everything I've experienced, I have never been bitter. I am not bitter. I will not be bitter because I understand my people over here, they hurt. They hurt. They don't love themselves. They have low self-esteem. Many people also, they never grew up with a lot. So as soon as they have a little bit of money, it gets to their heads. Many people grew up super poor. And you can tell because super poor people, when they start having a little bit of money, they become utter bullies. They use their money to hurt people. They use their money to destroy people. They know, like, you have to, because the devil wants you to be a hateful person. I will never in my life be a hateful person. It's like a zombie effect. They do stuff because they want you to be triggered. No, it's fine. It is fine. Because everything you do, if your heart is clean and your hands are clean, God will take care of you. And God has taken care of me. The thing that matters the most to me, like my family, my kids, marriage, whatever, that's pretty much intact. We're pretty good, right? But it's like I've been through a lot. But I'm very grateful I did not become bitter. Because the stuff I've been through, I really would have had a valid reason to hate Black women. For real, for real. You guys, it's probably more I'm forgetting, right? There's probably more I'm forgetting. But the level of ungratefulness, when they need something, they will call you all the time. They will lean on you. They will ask you for this as soon as they make it. Right? Even I'm like, Vanessa, everything I've done, like the doors I've opened for her to even say, you know what? Let me promote Lena Lashes. No, she was out here promoting Lily Lashes. I'm like, what has this Persian woman done for you? So this Persian woman told you to leave Columbus, Ohio to come to New Jersey. It's Lily who helped you. And mind you, even when it came to Vanessa, my main thing was, it was actually Roger, her now husband. Then he was her boyfriend. But I was like, oh, because Roger did the videos and stuff. I said, okay, I want Roger to come because you can set this up. Because I said to her, the way you're fighting Jackie, these girls are not going to create content for you. They're just not going to do it. So you're going to have your own thing. She was like, oh, can I come? Because initially, just Roger was coming. I said, oh, is it okay if Vanessa also comes? Right? And maybe she can do some looks. When they first got there, even Roger, when he first got there, he was like, oh, we can buy the equipment and she can get somebody else. I said, no, Roger, I brought you here So take ownership. I want you to do this. That's all I've ever done is empower people. Because to know that he was working, because Roger used to work in the back at the Walmart. He was in the warehouse driving the forklift, right? He was driving a forklift. But I'm like, you're bigger than driving a forklift. Because he's from Benin, but he was born in Ghana, but he's actually from Benin, the Beninois, right? But he speaks Twi, whatever. I'm like, no. Vanessa also, she was like, it's a lot. But I'm like, okay, sure. I want y'all to win. Even when she's okay, I always say to myself, what I wish somebody would have done for me, I do for other people. You understand? What I wish somebody would do for me, I do for other people. Right? Even some of y'all, if you watched me like years ago, if you remember like years and years ago, I used to always make a very big deal of Jackie's birthday. Always. One birthday, I got her like a bunch of Michael Kors because I wanted to make her, because her birthday was like August 4th, right? Wanted to make her happy. Another year, I wanted to buy her a bunch of Louis Vuitton, but later last it wasn't working. And I told her, I said, Jackie, like what I had in store for you was a bunch of LVs for your birthday. She's like, it's okay, Marlene. Right? Because it just wasn't going, because I think I had like my slip up, because it did happen in August. I had my issue with my production stuff, right? But I'm like, the way I was raised and the way the Bible has raised me is that you need to have love for people. If you see somebody struggling, help the person out. If you know something that can help someone, help the person out. If you also can give money to someone, give them the money. Who cares? Right? Give them the money. Because maybe they need it. And you never know. By sowing into that person, if it's good ground, it might come back to you. Because you just don't know. You don't know who you'll sow into. And that person has the hand of God. Like the widow of Zarephath, when she looked at Prophet Elijah, she could have said, well, I'm not going to give you the money. I'm not going to give you the food. But she gave that man the food and it changed her life. You never know who is coming into your life. But a lot of Black people, they're very, very abusive. They are seriously abusive. Seriously abusive. You can see they're African in here. They're Black American. There's all kinds of Black people, y'all. There's just all kinds of Black people. But it doesn't matter. That's what I always say. It doesn't matter. Black is Black. People swear they're so different. People are not really that different, right? But ultimately, that's just how it goes. And you get to a point, like I've gotten to a point where you understand that when you help people, expect nothing in return. Maybe, if anything, maybe expect to be insulted, degraded, forsaken, abandoned, all kinds of bullshit, right? Because you help people out. And I don't know if it's like, I don't know what it is, but people are just really, really ungrateful. So that in me also, it has changed me. I've started, just withdrawing from people. I don't put up a lot of crap anymore from people because I'm like, no, I recognize this behavior and it's really, really bad behavior, right? It's really, really bad behavior. But if you have any issue, come to me and ask me directly. Ask me directly, right? So that's why I thought it was very funny that she went to New Orleans and she faced all this backlash in New Orleans because I'm like, yeah, my ancestors don't play about me. Okay, coming to my city and look what happened to your ass, right? But it's like a lot of these women are just not nice. And to me, this video from Tab, it is not her best moment because it's really giving nice nasty. Because like I said, a lot of businesses, for you to start some businesses and to do it the right way, you really might need 100,000. You might even need 500,000, right? You might even need $1 million. And the right thing to do would be for people to teach you how to fundraise. How do you raise money from investors? Instead of saying, go get a job. No. How do you teach this woman to know how to raise money from investors? How do you teach these women how to put a pitch deck? Like, this is how you pitch to an investor. This is what they want to know. They want to know these numbers, okay? Or maybe yet, how can they use TikTok Shop to kind of see proof of concept, right? Maybe Instagram is not the best way to go. Maybe you should try TikTok Shop. Maybe be more active on TikTok. Right? You can also say, hey, what kind of business books should these Black women also be reading? Right? But I truly believe that in this life, it's not enough to say, oh, I see a problem. There's an issue. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Wumpty wump wump. So just go get a job. Okay? Because it's saying, oh, well, you'll never make it. So why even bother? And who is she to say that? Who is she to say that? Like, who is Tab to say that? She has no idea where she'll be 5 years from now. She has no idea where she'll be even 10 years from now. She don't know where she'll be. She just knows where she is now. But how does she even know that God walks with her? Okay, you have no idea. You gotta be very careful what you speak over people's life. You gotta be very, very careful, right? What people need is like solid, not toxic, but solid, positive encouragement. Right? Let's look at the business. Let's see what is working. Good job for that. And then let's see what is not working. And you, as the owner, you're gonna have to be gangster. Like, you can be sensitive. You can't be like, oh my gosh. No. If you want to save this business, we're gonna have to do some grown-up activities, okay? And certain things will have to be said, certain things will have to change, right? But if you commit to the process, just like a weight loss story, I don't see why your business can't turn around, right? I don't see why anybody's business cannot turn around. There are people who lost all kinds of money. Then they worked on the brand. There are brands that were bleeding all kinds of money. People made the right investments. They hired the right people. The business took off, right? It's like we see that even Coach. At one point, nobody wanted to buy Coach, right? But Coach, they pulled back. They really had to think about a lot, him and Mish. They had to think a lot about strategy and things of the sorts, right? Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't like to see people abuse. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just so damn crazy, right? I don't like stuff like that, right? So that's just me. But I've come to realize, Marlene, the way you see Black, a lot of people don't see Black the way that you see Black. For some people, Black is just something you say to get money. Black is just something you say to have access to people. It is not something you do. It's not a conviction, right? It's not an ethos for these people. Like, you know what? I got to treat Black people well. I got to treat this person right. I got to do right by people. No, they don't care, because all they care about is the money. All they care about is the money, right? So, okay, cool. You do you, okay? But I'm like, Marlene, and you know, the whole thing with the whole she experience, it was really eye-opening. It was another eye-opening experience for me, because I said to myself, if this is what it looks like to have money, I don't want to have money. And I even feel like maybe this is why, because, you know, I've been working on and listening to David Goggins a lot. And he was like, oh, you're holding yourself back. It's like you're afraid of this, you're afraid of that. And I know that part of me, I have held myself back. Like, when my fitness videos started going viral on TikTok, first and foremost, I said to myself, so that's it, right? Because, you know, I have a bunch of videos, 12 million views, 10 million views. I have a bunch of videos go viral on TikTok, right? But it never got to me. If anything, it made me sad, because I realized that it's not, I didn't really do anything. I mean, I guess, yeah, I worked on the gym, but I didn't actually go pursue 10 million people. The algorithm gave me those people, right? So why would I get a sense of arrogance or a sense of pride or become a narcissist over an algorithm that I did not design? I didn't design this algorithm. I just posted my content, but it made me sad, because I'm like, you see, there are people that I have known. As soon as, there's Ashley too. Trash Me Makeup. Oh, Ashley switched up. Ooh, child. Ashley was up there in Alaska. Another Black girl. She was up there in Alaska, single mom, always checking on her, seeing how she's doing. When Ashley signed to Morphe, she lost her shit. You guys, I'm like, this went all crazy. She lost her shit. I'm like, okay, where's Morphe now? Where are you now? Where is she even now? You see this? You see? And I'm telling you, you gotta be like Marcus Aurelius when you deal with these Black people. Forgive them before they even offend you. Forgive the people. Just like, I forgive you. We don't even have to talk about it, right? But I'm like, it made me really sad, because she, like Ashley, it got to her head. Ashley used to be so sweet. When she got her makeup deal with Morphe, child. Oh, I have a manager. This manager, they want to be House of Diddy like so badly. Okay, where are you now? Where are you now? Right? Even Courtney's coming back. She has a new hair care line. Something Watch and See. Okay, where is she now? Because I'm like, just because you did it once doesn't mean you can do it again. Because the magic of the Main Choice back in the day was the fact that she was actually a YouTuber. She was not even trying to make money. She was just growing her hair. So it was really organic, right? You had the Main Choice, you sold the Main Choice. Now she's coming back with her other brand, but it's not the same because your hair is already long. Okay, you already solved the problem. So, like, why now? Why another brand? You sold the first brand to a white person, and the Black people were mad. So now, if they support this new brand, are you also going to sell to a white person? Yeah, make it make sense. Okay, so it's hard. It's really hard. It's hard to replicate your first success, huh? Because people got lucky. You know, like whether it's Main Choice, Mael. At that time, we were really coming out of the natural hair movement, the blogs, the videos, the YouTube videos, the DIYs. There was so much euphoria around creating natural hair content. It was a particular time, you know what I mean? And people were really, really into natural hair. All these things played together into you being successful. Just like with this lady too, right? It was COVID. People were at home. They were lonely. They were missing family. People were dying. So they were looking for the sweet Southern mimish voice, if I can say that, right? So it's a lot of outside event that played with whatever persona you were selling, and it just made alchemy, right? But it's not because you were a great business person. You got lucky. You were at the right place at the right time with the right persona, right? That's it. It's not because you had, I planned this and I would know. If you knew how to plan, you would have had success way before this. You did not. So please stop. Okay? Please stop. Like, go sit down somewhere. Seriously and honestly, go sit down somewhere. Right? Now, for those of us who have to maybe take a little break and start over, it's cool. Because you're, like the Bible says, the former shall be greater than the latter, right? Do not lose hope. Right? But in the meantime, while the business is not doing at its best, this is the time for you to start reading more business books, right? This is the time for you to really have a solid routine. I think one of the biggest issues that even myself also, but one of the biggest issues that I have found with lots of entrepreneurs is the lack of structure. Okay. You got to have structure. You have to know how to manage your time. You got to have a schedule. You have to have structure. Right. And also you got to have self-care. You got to take care of yourself, not just the shower, the hair, the makeup. No, but you also got to exercise. You have to eat right. OK. And also you have to pace yourself. I think pacing really matters. I didn't pace myself correctly. Right. Because when you see what's happening in the Vista, you might feel as though, I need my business to reach $1 million by tomorrow. No, you don't. OK. It will be nice, but you don't have to. Right. It's better to grow slowly with the least amount of damage to your reputation, because your brand, your reputation is a big part of your brand. Okay. If you reach $1 million in 6 months, but you can't fulfill orders, that's bad business. Right. So it's better to grow slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Right. But in the meantime, exercise, eat right, listen to the right podcast, look at your business statement. Right. If you don't have a business plan, this might be the season to work on your business plan. Study other businesses in your niche and ask yourself, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Okay. What are they delivering to the customer that I'm not delivering? Look at their Instagram posts, look at their TikTok posts, look at their YouTube posts, right? Okay. How are they telling the story? How are they connecting to the consumer? How are they telling the consumer, here's how I can fix your problem. I've noticed that you have this pain point and this is how you can fix it. Right? How are they doing any of that? Okay. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Right? This is what you have to do. And that needs to be your full-time job. You already have your full-time job. You're an entrepreneur, right? But if all you do is call yourself an entrepreneur and you don't have structure, you don't read any books, you don't read any podcasts, you don't try to get a coach, you don't try to work with people who can help you to be better. Sometimes also, like even on Twitter, you might be lucky on Twitter, right? And you might have investors who are okay with you sending them an email and talking about your business, right? Now, if you're able to find investors and you pitch and they don't want to sell it, like they don't want to give you the money, do not be offended also. People have the right to say no, right? And maybe that means that there's still something more that you have to work on, right? Use ChatGPT, use DeepSeek, right? To really go granular on your business plan, right? And know, what value am I adding to the marketplace? Like, what value am I adding to the consumer? Right? Because if you understand this game of adding value, you're going to win. You are seriously going to win, right? You can go and get a job. I'm not saying you should not get a job, but if you are really called to work for yourself, you won't quit that job. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to be uncomfortable. Right now, if you need cash desperately, go work a job. But as you work a job, every moment you have, you need to work on, where did I go wrong? How could I have fixed this? I told you there was one document I did with DeepSeek on how to rebrand the bee palette. Y'all, it ended up being 345 pages, right? 345 pages. And in doing that, I realized that, you know what? For me to do the bee palette stuff the way I want to do it, I might need $500,000. Do you think I stress myself? Oh my gosh, where am I going to get this money from? No, I'm aware I might need $500,000. Matter of fact, I might even need $1 million. However, if now, because of the way I look at it, the way I understand my business now, the business model now, I feel like this one, it might actually be easier to raise the money now, right? And some money might come from me. What do I know? But sometimes the most important thing is not even worrying about how much money do I need to run this business, like pay for suppliers, pay for shipping, pay for products, pay for marketing, pay for all kinds of pay for this, pay for that, pay for this, pay for that, right? Sometimes it's not even worrying about all this money, because sometimes the dollar amount can scare you. Like, okay, I'm never going to get this money. But then again, you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? When I started Lingam Lashes, $100,000 to me sounded like $10 million. Like, what the heck? 100,000. What the freak? Okay. Came to pass. And I made it pretty fast. Even I was shocked, right? You know what I'm saying? You get to a point like, wow, you should never say, oh, I'll never have this money. Oh, I'll never be able to raise this money. You don't know what the freak you can do, because you don't really know yourself. You understand? And me, I will say this, right? This is just coming from me. You can take it, you can leave it, right? But my advice to you sometimes, let's say wherever your business is right now, you consider that to be a failure and it really hurts. I want you to remember how that feels. I really want you to sit in that like, shit, this really hurts. This is this. I want you to don't run away from how you currently feel about the state of your business. Embrace it. And let that be what drives you, right? To write a whole different chapter. You understand, right? If it didn't kill you, it came into your life to teach you something. You are stronger than what you think you are. You are more resilient than you can ever imagine. You are way more creative than you can ever imagine. Okay? When I first started Lingam Lashes, I had no idea how to do packaging. Matter of fact, packaging was an afterthought for me. You understand? But I sorry, y'all. I gotta go in a little bit. But I really became a designer. I became a creative designer. I never thought I could do that. Like, what in the world? Like, my sister's really good at design and stuff. Never did, right? There was a point in the whole tenure of Lingam Lashes, and I wish I had recorded that. I really did. I really wish I had recorded everything in that office. I was so proud of myself, right? But I'm gonna tell you this. At one point, I had 2 graphics designers because I like graphics. I wanted to have pretty newsletters. I wanted everything to be well made, like aesthetically pleasing. I told you for a very long time, until the people did the Black-owned makeup, a lot of people didn't know it was me. A lot of people believed that Lingam Lashes was owned by a white woman. Maybe it should have stayed that way. Who knows? Because once they realized I was Black, my sales started to go down. Anyways, okay. But at one point I lost one. Then I had to make a choice to let go of the second one, Carrie. And it was really hurtful because I really liked Carrie. I loved her designs and stuff like that. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to design the newsletters, the text messages, the Instagram stories, the Instagram posts, the whatever, you guys. And I was like, the freak, yo, I felt so defeated. You know, and at that time, I think she was getting like 15 an hour, and she wanted to make $20 an hour, which is not bad. It really is not bad. I just couldn't afford it because I was going to the gigs, okay? And it was really crushing for me. You know, so she had to send back all her stuff, like the hard drives and everything like that. You know what I mean? It was really hard because I didn't think I could do it. You understand? And maybe I even cried. Who knows, right? It was so hard because I'm like, how am I going to do all of this by myself, you guys? Seriously? But God is so good. You know what I mean? God is really, really good. And a little bit at a time, I didn't know how to do Photoshop like that. But there was another app. I've got the name of the app, but it's some kind of app. I just learned to use that little by little. Started doing my own packaging, you know, but I'm like having to do packaging by myself, designing packaging by myself, put me in a position where I could actually design the bee palette, right? But the bee palette came out of my head. You know, I just saw this yellow thing and I saw all these beautiful bees. Let me see if I can show you, right? I really saw all these bees like just coming down on Louisiana. I was like, these are the bees, y'all. Like, they're just coming and taking over, right? But it just came out of my head, right? But it's like if I hadn't struggled, maybe I'll show y'all the rough draft. That's my mom also back there. That's my little Virgo over there. Because, you know, she's like, I feel like bees and Virgos is like a match made in heaven, right? But it's like if I hadn't suffered like this, I wouldn't have known. I learned so much about paper. You know, I know more about paper than I care to know. Okay, the different things you can do to paper, this, and that. You know, I did that all by myself. Okay, like I designed this by myself. Let me see if I have the actual thing. I designed all of this by my freaking self. Right, and then I have my designer, and I just made her do it in Photoshop because I know how to do it in Photoshop. Right, but I remember when this one, the Nigeria palette one. Yeah, we look the same right now, right? My crazy mom. She's somewhere in Virgo. She's somewhere. She probably a Whole Foods for all I know. Okay. But I'm like, the Nigeria palette also very, very beautiful. But it's like, if she had never left, I never would have worked that muscle. Like, I never, ever would have became a designer because I was leaning on her to design. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Right? You have no idea. I'm like, it's like a phoenix, like from the ashes. You have no idea the kind of business person you're going to be. You understand? One failure, even a series of failure, doesn't mean that you are not called to be an entrepreneur. You understand? Part of being an entrepreneur is like this, you are just relentless. Sometimes you take a break because the body's tired. Okay. Sometimes you take a break because you run out of money. Right? Okay. But the money will come back. Money always comes back. Because money is a source. Money is an energy. Money always comes back. I'm going to tell you this also. Money is very much related to your confidence. The more confident you are, the more money you're going to get. This is how these white girls are able to scam the way that they do. Remember the white girl who stole $175 million from JP Morgan? I'm like, how you want to stole money from Jamie Dimon? You're not scared, right? But when you see a lot of these white girls in business, many of these women are scamming. Okay, many white women entrepreneurs are scammers. They are always scamming. Okay. Let me see if I can find their pictures. Okay, many of them are scammers. What are they not scamming? Okay. What are they not scamming people? Right? What are they not scamming people? But you see, one thing they do, it's not going to be new, but it's a whole different, like, it's going to be I'm redoing the whole business plan, right? But one thing about these women is that they look confident, right? They dress confident. They show up confidently, and they do their homework. They know what people want to hear. They know what people want to see. They know how to show up. You know what I'm saying? Many of these people, what the heck? But they raise 60 million, 20 million, 5 million, whatever million, right? Because they're not afraid of money. We Black people, we have a debt for 20,000, we panic. We have a debt for 50,000, we panic. We owe 100,000, we panic. We're scared. We are really scared because around us is a cesspool of unbelievers. It's like Jesus and the apostles. Most of these people did not believe in him. It's really hard. You know, when you're Black, to dream big, because most Black people who surround you don't believe in themselves. So, aren't you scared? All they do is put doubt in your head. All they do is put doubt in your head. Instead of saying, yeah, I mean, it would have been nice had you not lost the money. But compared to what some people lose in business, this is small. You can make it. Do not be afraid of $50,000. It's not a lot of money. Okay? Do not be afraid of 50,000. Do not be afraid of 20,000. Don't even be afraid of 100,000, right? Because the issue is not the money. The issue is how you're going to spend the money so that it comes back to you, right? So if you have a business and you need to raise 100,000, I want you to believe in yourself that you can raise 100,000. You don't have to get a job. What else can you do? Because it's going to take a lot of time. So it might as well be a job. But your job should be, how am I going to get this money? Right? And that's why I say it will be a lot better to commit to becoming a YouTuber. Because if you can successfully tell your story on social media, do you have any idea how much money you can make? Right? If you're able to do a great YouTube video, and the video even has, if you reach 1 million views, that video can do like $5,000 to $10,000. Who knows? Now imagine if you have 10 videos like that, right? That's already 100,000, right? So my thing is, you got to think smart. To me, when you say to a Black person, go get a job, that's the old way of thinking. You have to work hard to make money. No, what I am saying is you have to work smart to make more money that you can fund your business and businesses, right? You gotta think this way. Get a job. How much you gonna make? Right? If you're able to successfully have 1 million views every month on YouTube, do you know how much money you'll make? On top of the sponsorship, because it never fails. The more views you get, the more you fall on these brands and their radar, and the more they want to pay you, right? You got to think smart. Stop thinking little, right? Exactly. How about we say, okay, how can I make a series about my failed business? Yes. Don't be afraid, like, y'all, my business failed, y'all, my business struggled, and now I am trying to rebuild my business break by break. Do not be afraid to be a failure on social media, because who else is not failing out here, child? Who ain't failing, right? But the beautiful thing about YouTube is that if you make it on YouTube, if you can successfully tell your brand story on YouTube, you're going to make millions of dollars. Because now it's not even the product people are buying into, they're buying into your story. You are the person that never gave up. You understand me, right? I want you to be that kind of person. I am the person who never gave up. It's not that life didn't whoop your ass. Life sure did whoop your ass. It's not that it wasn't hard for you. It's not that you haven't made so many. Do you know the number of dumbass mistakes I have made with money? Right? But somebody easily could have said, oh, Marlene, do this, do that. No, nobody wants to help you. Because when I've also realized that a lot of these black girls too, a lot of these black women, they want to be the only ones. They could say, oh, maybe ship your stuff this way. Not even when because I didn't know about Supa when I moved to New Orleans, right? I didn't know about her. But what happened was I went to get my hair done in like La Place somewhere. No, not La Place, somewhere like near Kenner. Yeah. Okay. So the young lady who did my hair, she was telling me about her. I didn't know who she was. So because of that, I started watching her content a little bit, not all the time, because it's a bit ratchet. It's a little ghetto music, so it's too much for me, right? But I saw that she was having her stuff come through like DHL. I'm like, oh, that's really expensive, right? So I reached out to her in the DMs. Right? And I said to her, here's a number of like these people who do like they bring your shipment and stuff, because I had discovered one, they were out there in Chicago. And I said, well, why don't you reach out to them and see how they can move your package, because I didn't even know how to do that, because I used to pay, you guys, oh my gosh, y'all. I used to pay for my stuff to come directly with DHL. And when I tell you it is so expensive, so much money, right? So much money was wasted. So much money was wasted. So much money was wasted doing all kinds of stupid stuff. Who are these people? Sorry, y'all. My bad. So much money was wasted bringing stuff like into the bringing the stuff into, what's that thing called, into the airport. Like, I'm like, no, it's a lot better if you do cargo. I didn't even know how to do cargo. I was like, what the heck? So when I discovered that, I reached out to her, got on the call, and I was like, okay, here. But she was like, oh, her name is Super. I'm like, no, what's your real name? Because I'm like, what? Because I don't know this whole street culture shit. I'm like, what's your real name again? She's like, Super. I'm like, no, like your real name. She's like, oh, no, it's really pretty, right? And so I gave her the number. I was like, yeah, call them, and hopefully they can just move your stuff like without you having to pay DHL directly, because it's very, very expensive, right? But I'm like, hey, if I know something, I'll let you know. Because I'm like, yeah, I didn't know. Now I know, right? But like everything with these black girls, like everything is so competitive. Everything is so competitive. And that's why I think it's so rich when they sit here and want you as a black woman to believe that your op is a white woman. Lies. Many times a white woman will be way nicer to you. Many, many times. A white girl, if she knows something, like, yeah, girl, this is how you do it, girl. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, bye. That's it. But when I tell you black girls will gatekeep because they want to be the only ones, I think sometimes also they want to laugh at your downfall. It's ridiculous to me. But anyways, let's carry on. Ultimately, black people are not who they claim to be. Okay, they're not who they claim to be. They're even worse than some of the white people they complain about. But let's move on, right? But my thing is like, do not, you know what I'm saying? Do not be afraid. Oh yeah, they're so like that. This is all they do. They're just so damn mean. They're mean and they're fake. Like even this girl, Amy Cole, if they really wanted her to win, she would have won. Okay. It's like it's easy. Oh, I'm so sad she's going out of business. Like girl, bye. The same way they know how to put all this energy behind Patrick Ta, they could have put the same energy behind her. But the issue with Black people is like, who's going to be the first to make all this money? So if I'm not making it, I don't want you to make it, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to make it. Even here on YouTube, the vast majority of Black girls who create content, they could all have 1 million followers. All they have to do is do a bunch of collabs with each other back to back to back to back. But they're not willing to do that, right? You guys, not trying to be mean, not trying to be offensive, but slavery happened for a reason. Black people, since they were in that big ass place called Africa, they've always struggled with collaboration. They've always struggled with partnership, right? They've always struggled with, okay, I give a little, I take a little. They struggle with that. So they're not going to make it, right? You see these white girls, they're usually in a pack. Like if you see one, you see 5 others. So it's like they always drive traffic to each other because it's not one lone influencer. It's like a pack of people. If you see Alex Earl, you're going to see her sister, da, da, da. You see a whole bunch of people, right? So when you see one, you think of them all. Oh, let me go check on her too. Let me go check on her too. Because they travel in pack. Most Black girls, they want to be by themselves. So because of that, the content really struggles. Like the channels, they really struggle because they resent, they despise sending traffic to each other. Right? So how can you succeed like this? Right? If you're a node and you don't have a lot of node pouring into you as well as you give out into them, you're not gonna make it. Right? But this is what this is the mindset. This is the Black psychology. It's an awful psychology. And I feel like this is the reason why for a very long time to come, Black people are still going to be serving white people. Absolutely. Because it's the people who struggle with collaboration, partnership, and really honestly being excited to see somebody else move on up. This is why also Black people also have a preference for supporting celebrities because the celebrity you don't see. The celebrity doesn't live next door. The celebrity is already rich, right? So you're helping someone who doesn't need your help. But when it comes to helping your next door neighbor, they don't want to do it. When it comes to helping family members, they don't want to do it. When it comes to helping their friends, they don't want to do it. Right? Every single day, I think the average Black person might have at least 50 different opportunities, right, to pour into another Black person. They're not going to do it because I don't want you to make it before me, right? It costs nothing to share a story. It costs nothing to share YouTube videos. It costs nothing to like a YouTube video. It costs nothing to leave a comment on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. Like, sis, I see you. I'm sure it took you long to edit this video and I appreciate you. Let me share, let me like, let me comment. These steps do not take more than 5 seconds. They're not going to do it. You go see a white influencer, people already know when you show up, you got to smash the like button, right? They take pride in cheering their people on. They take pride in elevating their people on. Black people, especially Black women, the only time they come together is for chaos. Chaos, slander, insult, destruction, cancel culture, who's dating a white woman, right? But it's never to really pour into each other to build successful businesses, right? There are websites like Kickstarters. There are websites like Indiegogo. Like there are a bunch of websites where a person can crowdfund. So once again, instead of telling a Black woman that she needs to go get a job, okay, right? We can also say, how about you start a Kickstarter campaign, right? If you're struggling, if you are struggling with shipping, if you are struggling with inventory, if you're struggling with this, why not start a Kickstarter campaign? You don't have instead of actually go get a job, you can make it your job to learn about Kickstarter, right? You can also research the most successful campaigns to date on Kickstarter. What did they say? How did they tell the story? How did they promise shipment? When are they going to ship? This, and that. If you make it your business to understand Kickstarter or Indiegogo, whatever, there's even one for women also. It's called iFund Women, right? There's one called iFund Women as well, right? Where you can also host, your crowdfunding campaign on there. They also have grant, you see, 100,000, right? Do you see how easily white people give out money? And you wonder why they're successful. You wonder why white people run the world. right? Because they do not mind giving money. If they see a great idea, they don't mind giving the money. And if the money's gone, don't cry about it because they know they'll make more money. We can kill somebody over tennis shoes. Okay, we can kill somebody for $1,000. You see how we are? How can we be the leaders of this world? How can we make up the billionaire class of this world when we have such a low vibration around money? Why does the Black woman or the Black entrepreneur need to get a job? They already have a job. Understand business. It is a full-time job. Okay. They need to know how to write these grants. They need to know how to crowdsource. They need to know how to create content. They need to learn how to become a storyteller. There is too much to do to get a fucking job. This is the job. This is the job. The job is right there. It doesn't always pay, but it's the job because it's compounding interest. The more you learn, the more you can do, you will become a better entrepreneur. Point blank, period. What's the rush anyways? Okay. Yeah, exactly. I saw an interview of Amy Cole and I realized the reason her business had to shut down. Sephora informed her that the darker skin shades weren't selling, but she doubled down and didn't branch out. Yeah, because most Black women don't want to buy dark shades of foundation. They want lighter shades of foundation. There's what they say on social media, and then there's what they do when they show up at the store. The same thing with clothing. They want these big sizes and the big size and the big sizes, right? But in reality, most women want to believe that they're actually smaller than what they truly are, right? Most women do not want to reckon with the fact that she might be a triple X. She believes that she's still a large, right? So they don't move. Even with Juvia's Place, when they came out with their I Am Magic foundation, the darkest shades did not sell, right? They did not sell. So for people to sit here and they want to see these super, super dark shade, and I'm like, if we are talking about America, Black Americans, for example, right? Most Black Americans are of West African ancestry. And also many of them are also mixed, white, Indian, whatever. So you don't see you will never see an African American as dark as a Sudanese, right? They might be as dark as a Senegalese. They might be as dark as an Hausa. They might be as dark as a Ghanaian. That's about it. Because most Africans who were sold here were from West Africa, not East Africa. Right. I think it's very silly to tell brands that, oh, you're not inclusive until you make shades for Sudanese people. Sudanese people do not represent the majority of Black people. Now, it's a novelty to some extent, right? But they do not represent the vast majority of Africa. Most African people are not as dark as Sudanese people. You know what's going to be funny? Okay. And they're like from West African dark to their dark is very different because their dark is more like a blue-black. Okay, Ghanaian people, like West African, like Ghanaian, Senegalese people, our dark skin has more of like a terracotta. Like we have an orange undertone. They have a blue-black undertone. So I think it's very silly to say, oh, a company has to make dark foundation for Sudanese people. Most people here, 46 million Black people in America, 43 to 44 million are African Americans. They don't have this shade. So why even waste your money making that shade? It's very, very silly. But because a lot of people on social media do not understand business, they want to see things. So I'm like, okay, maybe make the shade and put it on the website, but don't actually manufacture because it's not going to sell because the vast majority of people are not Sudanese. And the vast majority of Black people are not Sudanese. And the vast majority of Black people in America do not have Sudanese ancestry. Are you kidding me? Okay, I will never be as dark as a Sudanese person. No offense. Right? But I'm an NW45. I will never go and look for a foundation that's that damn dark. I'm not going to do it. No offense. But I think it's very silly. And it's very silly to shame brands as if the Sudanese dark skin is the benchmark for Blackness, even in the continent of Africa. It is not. Go to South Africa. Nobody's that dark. Go to Congo. Go to Ghana. Go to the Ivory Coast. Nobody is that dark. Like, what the heck? Now, they happen to be that dark. Yes, and it's beautiful. But at the same time, if only 0.03% of African people have this complexion, it doesn't make sense for a brand to cater to that complexion, right? Because you got to have the complexion. Then you got to have the price point because you can make it, but do they have the money to buy it? So it's not always efficient. And that's the problem with a lot of people on social media is that they're socialists. They don't even understand the semantics of business, right? So Amy, like, she fucked up. She really did fuck up because it's not going to sell. Now, it's part of the story, but you have to know how to move on, right? But I'm like, it's really, really silly to be in America with 43 million African-American people that are crazy mixed. They're mixed with so much. They're not that dark. They're, even when they're that dark, it's like at least it's like at most it's giving Ghanaian. They can do it with an NW45 or NW47. They're gonna be all right. Okay, there's no need for that. Do something else, like add some peptides or whatever this is, right? So the fact that Sephora told her and she wanted to be stubborn, well, that's on her. She lost her business. Because, yeah, I'm like, what the freak? Yeah. You know, like, yeah, a lot of white influencers too, especially Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill, she has this crazy ass Christmas giveaway. It's so damn stupid. Like, she'll just give so much shit. And she does it every single year. You'll see a lot of white content creators, they do give back. I mean, you have all this product. You have all this stuff. You're not going to use it. Just give it away. Most Black girls are really stingy with their PR. They are extremely stingy. They hoard stuff because a lot of these young ladies came from poverty. I will never stop telling y'all this. It's really hard for a poor person to come into money and to have a giving spirit. Most poor people have a scarcity mindset. Everything for me, nothing for nobody else, because they grew up in lack. They have a lack issue. They have a scarcity mindset. Okay, yeah, because that's it. Because the celebrity I will never meet. So I'm helping a stranger. And I feel like sometimes also it's passive aggressive. It's like, yeah, I know how to share a story. I'll share her story, but I'm not going to share your story because they want you to doubt yourself, right? That's the culture. And once you see it for what it is, you're not even mad anymore. Like that, this is what they do. It's the culture, and you go about your business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see? So I'm like, so she got to send you your other stuff too. That's not nice. She got to send you your other stuff. You see? So I'm like, that's, and even here too is communication. Hey, Sunshine, I saw you order. Thank you so much, sis. I have this for now. Please, this one is on pre-order. We have to work on communication. So I feel like this is one thing that a lot of Black business owners have to learn to talk. Learn to talk to your people. Don't run away from your people, right? Talk to the people. And I feel like if you show more behind the scenes and stuff, even they would understand, right? Yeah, they don't like it, Kevin. They don't like it. The only time they collab is to talk bad about white people. Now say, let's build something where it makes everybody do better. Everybody's going to disappear. Everybody is going to disappear. If you say police brutality, the Black men did something wrong, we hate white women, they come out in droves, right? Because there's no real interest. There's no real interest to build a solid Black business base. Like, we don't have enough Black entrepreneurs. It is really sad. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really sad. But I'm like, a lot of these Black women who make so much money, it's nothing to them to have a grant program, right? To have courses, to have free resources. No, they don't want to put you on game because God forbid you become my competition. They're so afraid of competition. Whereas like when it comes to white people, they're not afraid of competition because they're just going to buy your business. Okay? They're just going to buy your business. Okay, go ahead. Work hard. Show me how much you're better than me. But guess what? I got more money, so I'll just buy your business. Right? We never even want the person to be successful. White people, no, they want you to be successful so they can buy your business. You see? Do you see how like we have different mindsets, like we have different psychologies, like we think so differently. And this is why, yes, white people are there, they can be evil sometimes. They have done very, very evil things. I'm not gonna say I care for these people, but part of me also can say, I see why they're successful in business. Yeah, exactly. They want to look like trans women, right? So I'm like, that is not the mindset. Glorilla, what have we said her name, right? The girl, the young lady, she just wants to be baby Jackie. She wants to see baby Jackie. She saw that Jackie was out here. You know, Jackie made her reputation, right? Fulfilling whatever. For me, it's a racket. It's a racket. Pick the darkest shade, roast the brand, bash the brand, you know, and never talking about the business side of things, right? Why is it that maybe a brand can't do so much, right? What are the numbers? But then again, Jackie is also not educated. Jackie went to school for cosmetology. She went to school to mix developer, right? She even herself, look at her business, right? She made $10 million. I'm like, yeah, Jackie should be making way more than $10 million, right? But she doesn't know shit about business. Dennis also don't know shit about business. Jackie got into Sephora because Jackie has a big audience, right? Once again, she's not a businesswoman. She didn't go to business school. Dennis has never had one successful business in his life, right? That's why he left London to go live in her house, right? Because he's not a business person his damn self, right? He also, like, even Dennis came off, he had a name, Pat, oh my gosh, Mr. something. He copied this other brother, I think he's Ghanaian, Jibril, I forgot his name. But like he travels all around the world. I'm like, yo, I've seen this name before. I'm like, oh, it's not Dennis's name. So I feel like even Dennis himself, he was out here being influenced, right? But these are not business people. They're not business people, right? She has a big audience and she happens to be Black. So I feel like with the whole like George Floyd fuckery shit, whatever, Sephora wanted Jackie in there so that way they don't seem racist. So that way also their stores don't get looted. You understand? But when you look at Fleur, for example, right? When you look at Fleur, hold on, what's that girl's name? Okay, that's a Christelle Lim, right? Okay, cool. Let me show you this. Let me show you this lady, Christelle Lim. Is that her name? Okay. All right. So y'all seen this brand Fleur, right? Okay. So Fleur, for example, this brand. Right? The brand existed before, because that's the part I don't like how they want to sit here and lie like this. Okay. What is this? The brand existed before. Now, what they did was they wanted an influencer to be the face of the brand. So they went and they got Chris. Chris, if you're really into if you are really into fashion and stuff like that, Chriselle, like she was always like a fashion blogger. Like, you know, doing that little minimal Korean shit, like it didn't really take off. So so this is what happened, right? When it comes to the Fleur brand, the brand existed before. It just wasn't doing well. So what they did is they hired her to play female boss, female CEO, one thing. But they already had a business. They just needed a face. They needed a person that could take it to the next level, right? So I saw a video. She was like, oh, my brand got acquired. I'm like, Christelle, it's not your brand, sis. Like, come on now. Like, you're just a spokesperson. Like, be so for real, right? But the people who run Fleur, these are business people, right? These are business people. Because I'm like, to me, how can people not even sell on TikTok Shop? That is just so crazy to me. But TikTok Shop is a big part of their strategy to make this brand be a bigger brand, because there are real business people behind this brand. This girl's just the face of this, because we live in an era where most women want to see a woman CEO as bad as they want to see a woman president, right? They want to believe in that shit. Oh, this woman is running her business and she's making all this money and she's a businesswoman. No, it's a bunch of dudes running this business, okay? Same thing with this company, Naturium, right? Naturium also, right? They put this woman in front, right? But if you listen to her story carefully, this is the man's business, okay? She wanted to start her own business. She didn't have the money, sis. She didn't have the money. So she reached out to this man. And the man said, okay, I already have a business, okay? Because I guess she's trying to raise money or whatever. Okay, why start a new brand? Come over to my brand and you can be a co-CEO. Or matter of fact, just be the face of it. Because right now, women want to see women CEOs. It's a mind trick thing, right? The only woman CEO, he don't care, right? But I listened to her stuff. And I'm like, so technically, you're just a spokesperson. Because she didn't start Naturium from scratch. She didn't go find the money. The man had everything in place. He just needed the right face. He needed the right person to say, oh, this is my brand. This is my brand. Exactly, right? These women they're picked and they're put in positions. That's it. And their job is to sell this woman CEO. She's a mom. She's a CEO. The whole time, you got a bunch of serious ass business people, suited up, booted up, bunch of MBAs running these businesses. That's just how it goes, right? The same thing with Bloom also. Bloom and Mary also. Bloom, her husband, hold on. Mari, is that how you spell her name? Okay, the same thing also, right? All she does is show up for the photo shoots and this, and that. But her husband is the one actually running the business. Hey, Queen, he's the one running the business. Have you ever seen her do a business meeting? All she does is her makeup and my weight loss this. Her husband is the one who got Bloom to where Bloom is today, but he doesn't show up because the girls want to see a woman-owned company, right? Even though the brains of the operation is a man, the man is the man, it's a man, it's a man, it's a man, it's a man. Okay? Exactly. Kim with Skims. It was Kanye, it was Kanye, it was Kanye, it was Kanye. But even that company too, there's a lot of executives. There are a lot of people with crazy ass resumes who are part of Skims. Kim is not that intelligent. Not trying to be mean, right? But to have $1 billion business, you got to have some people with some crazy ass work experience, right? This is not a joke. The business world is ran by business people. Now, they might grift and put like a goofy ass influencer in the forefront to finesse your ass because they understand that you need to believe in this superwoman, super story bullshit, right? But these businesses are ran by actual people with business degrees. This is not a joke, right? So even I feel as though, that's just me, right? I feel as though Jackie, given her size of her audience, Jackie should be making an easy 50 million a year. 50 million, nothing more, nothing less. 10 million, she's leaving money on the table. But you know, she wants to fight on this TikTok, whatever she does on TikTok with these girls, whatever. But because she don't have enough business people, right? Like when I showed you the picture of Rode, I'm like, even Rode with Hailey Bieber, I don't think it was her idea. I think it's the other man and that woman who came to her with the idea of Rode, right? You see this picture here? Let me show you, right? You know? Because once again, it's all about the packaging. It's all about the storytelling. But like these two people right here. These two right here. You see, there's a man, right? But these two people right here, these are the people, right? What they say? Michael Ratner and Lauren Ratner. So I guess they're a married couple. These are the co-founders. And how much do you want to bet that this was their idea, right? How much do you want to bet that the whole concept was their idea, but they needed a face? Right? A person that has access to a lot of people, lots of followers, wump. So then they saw Hailey, right? You just be the face, we'll do everything else. And you take credit for being a businesswoman. You take credit for the formulation. They just let her take credit for anything, right? But this girl, she didn't study business. Come on, now, be so for real, right? How can she run? How can she get a regular skincare brand to $1 billion in 3 years? That's some serious MBA shit. She don't have the intellectual baggage for the shit. She doesn't even have the intellectual curiosity for the shit, right? But because of privilege, they just pick her ass up and they put her in front of the road. But all she does is the marketing. She dresses up. She's half naked. She does this on her lips. This is not how you build $1 billion brand. You have some really smart ass people backing you, right? So then they do this, and then they go and get this other man, right, who also worked with Jessica Alba. Right? He was Jessica Alba's CEO, Nick Varos. What's his name? Yeah, Nick Valos. Okay, right? There you go. And now he connects her to the CEO of Elf Beauty, right? Bunch of dudes out here. Make sense? Do you see the number of men? So there are 3 men in this picture to 2 women. Who do you think is doing most of the work? The mans. Exactly. Then she got the black man who does her stuff, who does her formulation. Yeah, he's an asshole too, right? There you go. I sent him a DM one time. He read my DM. He never answered. I'm like, look at this weirdo. Okay. So that's that. And I'm like, and this is the part that a lot of Black women in business are not understanding. And they need to know. Am I going to do it? No. Because I don't pander to Black women. But I feel like the people that they give their money to, those people, they should ask those people to help them out. So to me, Tab is one of those people. Okay. You see, there's always a man, Lonnie. And if I'm not mistaken, even with Honest too, I think the founder of Zappos, a man, and I think he got his MBA from Stanford, right? He was involved in that as well. So it goes to show you, like, when you have a business also, it is not enough to say, oh, I have a business, I'm running a business. Your mind should also be to say, what are the goals that I need to hit so I can hire the best people possible? So maybe I got to get to 1 million so I can hire my first CEO, or I got to get to 5 million so I can hire my first CMO. Right? Because there's what you can do, but listen, you might not know as much. But there are certain people, if you hire those people, oh, they can take your brand to 100 million. There are other people, they can take your brand to 200 million. There are people who can take your brand to 1 billion. Okay? There are people also who can take your brand to 9 to 9 billion, right? Right? So look at Maria Grazia from Dior, right? Remember I showed you this lady too from Dior, right? When she came to Dior, I think the house was probably making about $1 billion or whatever. She takes Dior from $1 billion to $9 billion, right? But once again, this all comes down to strategic positioning, strategic thinking when it comes to business. Is that a lot of Black owners, Black founders, they always struggle with, oh my gosh, I have to pay what? I got to pay this much money. Got to pay this much money, right? Because Black people are afraid of money. You can never master what you fear, okay? If you fear money, money will always master your ass. If you want to be in control of money, you cannot be afraid of money. Money is an energy source. That's it, okay? So Maria, she comes to Dior. I think the house was making about $1 billion, right? Now that she left, it's she did her last show. She took the house to $9 billion. Do you think Bernard Arnault was sitting here like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I really want to pay this amount of money. Oh, I don't know if I really want to pay her that. I don't know. Do I really want to pay her this kind of money? How much am I going to pay? No, because in his mind, if she can take me from $1 billion to $9 billion, even if she wants 50 million, give it to her. It's a small price to pay. But a lot of Black owners, they love to nickel and dime. So it makes it hard for them to hire great talent, and it makes it hard for them to keep great talent, right? But that also has to be in your head. It can't just be, I make money, go buy a G-Wagon. I make money, go buy a big house. No, the money that you make from your business, you should use that money to make some key hires for your business. That's why I said about Anifa. I said Anifa needs to run her ass and get herself a great creative director, because you can't do it all. A successful CEO, a successful leader knows when it's time to pass the baton. Okay, like, you know what? I took this brand as far as I could. We need somebody more professional. We need somebody more seasoned. We need someone with more business experience to come in here and to really take care of this matter, because I can't do it. But that requires humility. That also requires self-awareness. Okay. So yeah, but she made so much money for Dior, right? And so there are people like that. He came in there and he got her $1 billion valuation, right? There are people that are going to come in there, right? There are people they're going to come into your life and just change your business. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, Beyonce is not formulating anything. And I think Beyonce, for me, it's sacred. It's a partnership with a brand we already know. Because these ingredients are a little too sophisticated for Beyonce. Like, Beyonce woke up thinking about lactobacillus, the ferment with honey. Yeah, right. It's a brand we know. Part of me even wants to say maybe it's Olaplex. You know, but it's a brand we know. And that's why her structure, her business, because one guy was like, oh, it's fully funded by Beyonce. I'm like, you're so damn silly. You are so silly. Beyonce, the wife of Sean Carter, the evil Black capitalist, she's going to use her own money to start a business. Yeah, right. You know nothing about distribution. Go sit down somewhere. I was like, the reason why it's a private business, because she's hiding stuff. When you structure your business as a private business, there are a lot of disclosures you don't have to make to the SEC, right? And I feel like she knows the backlash to say, oh, it's white owned, is this. I feel like most people know by now that if Black women find out that there's any white man next to the shit, they ain't gonna buy it. So yeah, so she made it private, right? So people are not gonna know. So that way, per the SEC, she doesn't have to make certain disclosure. But Beyonce has investors. She has private investors. Okay, like, we're not stupid. We are really not stupid. Beyonce did not wake up in the morning, okay, and think about lactobacillus with honey and current ferments, like serum, like what the heck, okay? She's not doing any of that. It's not even a private label contractor. It is a brand we already know. It's a brand we already know. Okay, and a part of me wants to say it might be Olaplex, but it's a brand we already know. And for all we know, Bernard Arnault could be behind it. But you make it private so that it seems as though this is the work of a Black woman. Because the average Black consumer has no understanding of, SEC regulation, SEC disclosures, why somebody would why would somebody go for a private structure versus a public structure? Most Black people don't read shit. Okay. Most Black people don't read about money, don't read about Wall Street, don't read about, corporate structures, mergers, acquisitions. They just don't care about that. They care about love and hip hop, reality TV, rap music, who's cheating on who, who gonna pay 50-50. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. They don't care about money like that. Okay. They do not care. So that's it. That is that. Right? You get me? So I'm like, but to me, I'm like, it's a brand we already know. It is a brand that we already know. One day we might find out. We might never find out. I'm like, this stuff right here is just way too sophisticated. Like, it is just way too sophisticated, right? Even your girl, Patent Beauty, also. Patent Beauty, she has an investor. He's from Iran. He's Iranian. I think his wife is white. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, here he is. You see? But they make sure also not to show him as well so that she can take all the credit. Oh, it's a woman-owned business. This woman, this company was created by a woman, a Black woman. Yeah, the fuck right. Yeah, the fuck right. Okay. So here he is. There you go. Right? So she has a billionaire investor. And it's funny how she don't talk about this man. Okay. Isn't it funny how she does not talk about this man? Right? But this is her investor. Okay. This is the man who is financing, okay, Patent Beauty. Okay. This is it. I'm like, they're not using their own money. They don't care about you this much. Okay. It's a money grab. It is a money grab. But they know if you say that a man is in there, they're not going to buy it. If you say, oh, it's a Persian that's financing this, they're not going to buy it. The goal is to make Black women believe that these Black female celebrities care so much about Black women and Black hair that they went into their wallet, they went to their 401ks, they went to their savings account, they depleted all their savings so they could create a brand for Black women. Yeah, the fuck right. They're trying to get rich, okay? This is a billionaire. So if you think this man, it put his money into the Black community because he cares about your nappy hair, you crazy as hell. This man wants money. He wants money. Right? And they know most Black women are very insecure when it comes to their hair. Okay? They'll chase behind any elixir, oil, growth oil, you name it. They'll put all their money behind it and get no results. Okay? And get no results. So I'm like, so I really think it's Olaplex. I don't know why, but I feel like it's Olaplex is behind Sigrid. I really do. Okay? So that's her investor as well. So you see, investors are really, really important. Even with Tab also, like Tab going into Target, Loki Heike, Target is her investor. Okay. Because do you think she spends any money for all these products? No, she does not. Okay. She doesn't. Target pays for everything. They pay for production. They pay for the design. They pay for distribution. And maybe that's why she can't sell on her own website, because this merch is exclusive to Target. And most likely she has no idea where Target makes the stuff from anyways, right? Her job is to just be the face and to act as if she was in there working so hard, designing everything from scratch, and she was burning the midnight oil because Black women have to have their peanuts and their stuffed ravioli. Yeah, the fuck right. Okay? Target is her investor. Target pays for all this. In return, she brings her followers. They buy stuff. They give away their phone numbers. They give away their emails so that you can keep remarketing these people, right? So it's like for whatever money they paid her, in comparison to what they were able to sell and the data they were able to capture, they gave her peanuts. Okay? They gave her peanuts. But she also has an investor. So we start to realize that successful businesses usually will require some kind of investor. Right. And that's why you got to ace your business plan. You got to ace your storytelling. Right. I would recommend even selling on TikTok Shop, because the more you sell on TikTok Shop, the better. The more reviews you have on TikTok Shop, the better. It's social proof. It shows that people like it. They're enjoying it. You know what I mean? Like anything you can do to show an investor, like, hey, I got something special going on. Okay. That's what you want to do. Because to me, I'm like, it's a full-time job. It really, really is a full-time job. What time is it? Oh my God, I got to go. 5:30. Oh Lord. Okay, it's a full-time job.
First, okay.
What? What you said?
You gotta been in this place for a long time. Okay. Now listen. You got good ideas. Baby, you got good ideas. Your execution is not as good. Okay.
Okay, so how could they execute better? The execution's not as good. Okay, how can it be better? Her, I'm not trying to be funny, but even her first YouTube videos were not great. Okay. Her first TikTok videos were not great. So you also didn't have great execution. So I'm like, they say, oh, your execution is not great. Okay. I know that. Tell me something else. How can they improve? Like, what suggestions do you have for these people? Because, I'm not doing this video to discourage you, but I'm just going to point out where you fucking up. And I'm not going to tell you how to fix it. Big dummy. How does that help anybody? Right? How does that help anyone? Okay? How does that help anyone? Like, seriously, how does that help anybody? I don't know, is she actually saying? Right? Oh. Okay. How does that help? I'm like, how does that help anybody? Okay. How does that help anybody? So if you have noticed that this person, if you know that this person has this issue or that issue or whatever, just say, I have noticed this, and this is how I feel as though you can fix your, what is it called? You can fix your strategy, right? And I'm doing a mastermind. There's this young lady on TikTok. You see, a white woman. It never fails. Okay. Let me show you this lady, you guys. What's her name again? Julia. Yeah, I watch this girl all the time here on YouTube. Hold on. I know her name is Julia. Or Julie? No. Her name is Ju something. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Julia, yeah. I'm not crazy. Okay. You see this young lady here, right? Julia Broom. I like watching her content, but it's like she'll have videos. She's like, okay, this is how you do this, right? I'm sorry to tell you this. I might hurt your feelings if I tell you this, but this is how you're going to fix this. This is why this is not working. Let me see if I can find a good video for y'all. Let me see.
Off. If any of these are the things that you've been avoiding, this video is about to change that for you. Building your personal brand means hyper-focusing on these key steps. It also means posting consistently. Most people don't post.
Let me see if I can find a good video. Hold on.
Your Instagram highlights are one of the first things that new potential followers see, yet so many of you are missing out on optimizing them. So this is the highlight strategy that you didn't know you needed, but you will very much so benefit from. The rule of thumb is that your highlights should be a direct reflection of your content pillars, which are the main themes or value propositions in your content to show off what you consistently post. If right now your highlights are filled with link after link or content from years ago, I'm looking at you. Here's how we're going to completely revamp and re-strategize. Let's just say that you're a lifestyle creator who mainly talks about beauty, wellness, fashion, and home, but your highlights look a little something like this. If you can get in the headspace of a new potential follower who's going through your highlights, this is not going to move the needle for you. So swapping those to something like this that directly reflects your content pillars is really going to immediately establish the kind of value and content you bring to the table. Step 2, once you have your highlights established, you really want to make sure.
Hold on.
brutally honest, but what is your form of influencer currency? Because you expect your audience to show up for you, engage on all of your posts, like everything that you do. What are you giving them in return? Your influencer currency is the value that you bring to the table. That could mean your personality, your point of view, your education. But if you are just posting trends or pretty photos of yourself, it is not going to cut it. I warned you, brutally honest. So these are the main forms of currency that your audience is looking to see if you offer in your content. Real advice.
My top 3 lazy girl hacks to literally scientifically regulate your nervous system.
Consistent entertainment like a bingeable signature series.
You're bored because you have no hobbies, so welcome back to Hot Girl Hobbies.
Free education.
There's one thing that I've learned. It's that being good with your money actually has very little to do with how smart or good with numbers you are. So here are some rich girl habits that I've used to build wealth in my 20s.
Inspiration and motivation.
Finish what you started. I know it's getting tough, tired, it feels impossible, it's getting harder, but finish what you started.
And connection through storytelling.
I spent most of my post-college years dreading going to work. I was so obsessed with this idea of having to love what I did for work, so I would never feel like I was working a day in my life. And I think it's amazing if that's the case for some, but I would say for most of us, work is going to feel like work.
If you are not giving, you are not growing. So if you are sitting here wondering what your form of currency is, let me know so that I can stalk your page only if you want brutally honest feedback, and I'm going to pluck out the value and make it make sense.
Okay. Do you see how she talks to people? She said, oh, I'm going to be brutally honest, right? But what is your currency? Like, so she says she's going to be honest. She tells you what the problem is, right? But then she says, okay, this is how you can fix it, right? You can give this in return. You can fix like this. You can have a signature series. You can have this. You can have that. You can have this. Do you see how when white content creators, when they talk to their people, do you see how they're mindful? Because it's not like I don't think most people have an issue with you saying what you need to say, but it's how you say it, right? And it's also you leaving people with something they can do to get better, right? Oh, look, damn, you fat bitch. Oh, look how big you are. Oh, a lot of you black women, you just so damn big. Like your back is big. You a big back bitch. Damn, you big. And no man won't go want you and your big ass. How does that help people? Like, do you not think she knows she's big? Like, you don't think she knows she's big? Right? But you can say, okay, you guys, I'm really concerned because, listen, the wait is waiting, okay? But, because I do love y'all, okay? Over the next 3 months, we're going to lock in. We'll talk about nutrition. We'll talk about getting your steps in, what supplements you need to take, okay? And you don't have an excuse because if you're still a big back after this, it's on you, right? There is a way. Here's what I've noticed. Here is the problem. And here's how I'm putting myself up to help you solve the problem. That's all I'm saying, right? But to talk to people, oh, well, you tried for a while now. It hasn't worked for you. And even that, too, it goes against the Tabitha Brown brand because she's always this lady who wants you to be a hopeless, hopeless believer, hopeless optimist. Oh, believe in yourself. You can do it. You can do it. And now she's saying, oh, you tried for a while. It hasn't worked now. You've been trying to do this, but it hasn't worked for you. And you out here robbing Peter to pay Paul and this. And I'm like, girl, what? Which kind of shows that part of her brand is fake. It's a persona. Because if she was really the sweet, motherly, Southern person, she'd be like, okay, baby, now, okay, listen. I see what you're trying to do, okay? I see the vision. I really do see the vision. But the way we're telling the story, I think it can really use some major improvements. And here's why. When you tell a story, there has to be some kind of struggle that a person is trying to solve. Because if you have no struggle, people have nothing to connect to, right? So what I need you to do is to think about what kind of struggles do you think potential customers could be facing? And then see how your product can help them to solve that pain point, right? It's the way you talk to people. But I do believe to whom much is given, much is required. So given that now you know a bit more about business, I'm combining all of this, okay? Given now that you know more about business than the average or standard black person, black entrepreneur, right? You should be able to say, this is what I'm seeing, okay? And I want to help you fix it, okay? Now, I might not be able to help everybody, but I do believe that if I help some people, right, the rest of y'all can learn, okay? The rest of y'all can actually learn, okay, maybe I can do this for my business. Maybe I can do X, Y, and Z for my business, right? And hopefully by the time you're done with my mastermind, okay, that's just so pretty. By the time you are done with my mastermind, right, I do believe that you'll be capable of improving your business by at least 5%. I do believe that you'll be able to increase customer satisfaction by maybe 25%. Okay, so if this sounds good, link in my bio. The course is free, it's 12 modules, right? And I will see you in my masterclass, okay? But I'm proud of you, okay? Because, let me tell you something. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. Lord, tell me something, okay? I used to drive the Uber chair, do the videos on the side, be like, Lord, when am I going to make it? But I made it, though, and I want you to make it too, okay? But nonetheless, I'm proud of you. Because I'm sure in your family, you're probably one of the few, if not the first one, to ever start a business. Hey, Mimi. Right? That's how you talk to people. It's not that hard. Talking to people with love is not that hard. A lot of Black people don't have love in their hearts. They don't love other Black people. They ridicule other Black people. They make fun of other Black people. That's why I'm always so skeptic of a grifter, because I think a grifter, low-key, high-key, is making fun of you. Okay? Anybody who has to lie to you to get your money because they don't believe that you're capable of being intelligent. They don't believe that you're capable of having discernment. They don't believe that you are capable of having tough conversations. They lie to you because they see you as intellectually inferior. It's actually really disrespectful, okay? Because I think most people don't want to be lied to, right? But people lie to people because they don't see you as capable, right? But I'm like, it would have been really nice for her to say, here is a class. I'm putting together a business class, and this is what I am going to teach you so that you can also learn, right? The same thing I said about, I want to help you guys with your dating life, because I'm feeling like a lot of y'all do not understand that this is no different than branding. Dating is no different than branding. What's your story? What's your value proposition? What do you do that most people aren't doing? What do you offer, right? Because it's no different than having a business. Right? And if you want to have multiple dates, you need to give good customer service. It's a people's business. Relationships, it's a people's business. Love is a people's business, right? Marriage, it's a people's business. So if you're not a people person, how you going to make it work? Right? Yeah, they're very mindful. White women are very mindful how they talk to people. Even if she's going to read you down, she's going to find a way to do it very professionally. They're very professional. Right? You will never see all you big fat cracker bitches. They don't talk like that. You know what I mean? They're very mindful. Black people, when they make a little bit of money, they're very comfortable talking to Black people any kind of way because there's no consequences. They aren't, look at Kelly Price, look at her. There are no consequences, right? You understand? Or, hey guys, here are my top 3 books that I would love for you to read. So if right now, if you're a Black entrepreneur and you struggle with customer service, I want you to read this book. If you struggle with marketing, I want you to read this book. If you struggle with this, read this book, right? Give people something, right? Don't just say, well, you have a problem. Well, it's just not working out for you. Well, just go get a job. They do not want to have a job. They want to work for themselves. That's what they want to do. Now, what can we give these people that they are able to work for themselves and to actually see the fruits of working for themselves and believing in themselves? Why not? Most Arabs in America don't work for people. Most Koreans don't work for people, right? Most Iranians, they don't work for people, right? There are a lot of immigrants. Most Indians don't work for people, right? So what's the problem? Most Vietnamese and people who come here, they don't work for people. They work for themselves. If foreigners can work for themselves, if people who barely speak English can have their own businesses and find success in it, why are we going to tell an American person to go get a job? Make it make sense. That makes no sense whatsoever, right? But to me, unless you believe in gatekeeping, right, which I think a lot of people do, they want to be the only ones to exactly. Even illegal immigrants have their own businesses, right? So it's like you should teach people, teach your people. Okay, you've been doing this, and let me tell you why, or let me tell you my top 3 reasons why this is not the way to go. Reason number 1, blah, blah, blah. Reason number 2, blah, blah, blah. Reason number 3, da, da, da. Now, here's what I would like for you to consider. Maybe do this and see if you get da, da, da. Or you could also try this and see if you get da, 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 da. Or you can have a combination of both and then see if you can get right? This is how you want to empower people, right? You got to want to empower people so that they also can have great success. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But at the same time, too, though, I blame the Black audience, because if you follow someone and all they do every day is flex on your ass and they don't show you how to get to the bag, then whose fault is that? I said the same thing about Shira 7. Shira 7, she sits here and she encourages these Black women to put themselves in harm's way, right? In the hopes of finding a rich man, right? The whole time she has a job. The whole time she has a, Shira 7 works. She works, right? She's not out here looking for a rich man. She probably is the rich woman. Her YouTube channel is monetized. Her TikTok, she's probably in the creator program. On Instagram also, I'm sure she gets money from Meta. Then she gets donations, right? But she's telling you, oh, put your life at risk. Go find a man with money. Go do this for men with money, right? Instead of telling you how to start your own YouTube channel that you can become the rich man. Why are you pursuing a rich man? Why are you willing to put your life at risk for a rich man when today with social media, with hard work in less than 5 years, you yourself can be a rich woman, right? Who, like, you could be the rich person you're looking for. It might be you. Get to work. Start creating your content. Start having your personal brand. Start coming up with a schedule and do not stop for 5 years, right? It could be you. How do you know it's not you? Right? How do you know you're not the rich person you're looking for? Why does it have to be somebody else with money? Because you don't believe in yourself, right? And I will also say, this is a trait that you have to have if you're going to be a great entrepreneur, is that you got to believe in yourself. You don't have a choice. You have to believe in yourself, right? When nobody believes in you, you have to believe in yourself. When people want you to fail, you have to believe in yourself, right? Because you're all you got. So you have to believe in yourself, right? You got to. You don't have a choice, right? You got to believe in yourself. Every day, you have to believe in yourself, right? And you have to study. Whatever you don't know, you have to study, right? And you study more and you study more. Now, y'all, oh, you guys, I have a sand and fog obsession. Don't tell Jimmy about it. Okay, but look at this, y'all. Love potion, okay? You got to believe in yourself. You don't have a choice. Believe in yourself, but it smells so good. Believe in yourself, right? But I will say this, me personally, I would tell you not to get a job, okay? Me, I would say don't get a job. What I want you to do is focus on YouTube, okay? Focus on YouTube. I want you to learn how to become a great YouTube creator, because YouTube pays the most money. YouTube pays the most money. So think about what kind of series you could do about fixing your business, and don't try to flex. Don't try to show bags and shoes, all that dumb shit. We don't care, right? Show people how you're trying to fix your business, okay? And tell them, I would love to do this. I would love to do that, right? And it might take 3 years. It might take 5 years. Look at Nick Bayer. Nick Bayer, he started off documenting his fitness journey on YouTube. And today his business makes like 50 million a year, whatever, however he makes, who knows, right? But you have what you need with YouTube, okay? So my people, listen, I love y'all very much. Maybe I'll be back later, but in the meantime, in between time, I got to get on the Stairmaster, right? If I could do a live from there, I would, but yo, it's hot over there, okay? I got to go because unfortunately today is Saturday and the gym closes they close at 6. Oh, they close at 7, sorry. They close at 7, so I have to go. Yeah. Oh, I smell so good. I got to go. Okay. But I will be back. Yeah. Document yourself and stop trying to be perfect. Okay. Success is not perfect. It is not pretty. Look at me. I mean, I'm cute now, but I'm just saying, like, it's not, look, I put all this weight on, you know, it's not pretty. But listen, that is the process. It is a very unpretty, uncomfortable process. Okay. But you got to do it. Yo, look at my outfit. Jimmy messed up my thingy. But I'm getting on the Stairmaster. Yo, look. You see my little ab? My abs coming out. Okay. Pray for me. All right. Pray for your good sis. I will try to come back later. I spoke to Queen this morning. I was going on my way to my first fitness class. But yeah, y'all, I'm on a grind here. I'm locking in because I need to lose this weight, you guys. There are dresses that must be worn. Dresses must be worn. But yeah, if you saw this video and she made, yes, Kevin, okay. If you saw this video and she made you sad and she made you feel like, oh, maybe I should quit. Maybe this ain't gonna work for me. Say no to the belly, okay? Don't listen to her, okay? Do not listen to her, okay? The God who brought you here ain't gonna get you out, but you must become a student of becoming an entrepreneur, okay? But in 5 years, you can change your life. With YouTube, you can really change your life. Thank you, Janet, okay? Y'all, listen, I'm feeling myself, okay? Right? But I love y'all. If I can, I will be back. Gotta go 1 hour on the Stairmaster, okay? Love y'all. I'll be back, okay? I will be back. Bisous, Timon. She gotta go. Let me go on the Stairmaster.